Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on 760 WJR. With 3 ways to donate now. Visit sametrodetroit.org. Text BREAD to 24365 or call 833-SAL-HOPE and keep the Bed and Bread trucks rolling. Now, here are First Things Mike Parsons and Renee Vitale.
And today is the day, one of the most exciting days here on News Talk 760 WJR. Renee, we're going to be giving out this phone number all day, so just put it in your phone right now. 833-SAL-HOPE. That's the Salvation Army phone bank powered by Bullseye Lingo. 833-SAL-HOPE, or you can text BREAD to 24365. It's officially underway, this 37th annual Salvation Army Bed and Bread Radiothon. And they got the rookies doing the early shift today.
We're kind of a big deal. We get to kick this whole entire thing off. No pressure, Mike.
Hey, you know what? I feel no pressure. I feel nothing but nervous. I'm like a little puppy dog. I'm just ready to go around and just yip and raise money for a great cause.
Just don't be sniffing people. Okay? We're off to a great start this morning already. As of 4:00 yesterday, they were at $0.
Yes, and we'll give the tote board in a second. We'll build the suspense a little bit, but bringing in another newbie, as he said the other day, Lieutenant Colonel Steve Merritt, Division Commander and Regional CEO of the Salvation Army Great Lakes Division. Good morning. Thanks for getting up early with us. Yeah, there's a button right there. There we go.
All right, you said the new kid on the block. Have to push buttons, but wonderful to be here. Thank you, Mike and Renee. This is a beautiful day.
And before we go any further, we're going to do the very first overnight tote board. The donations have been coming in since 4:00 yesterday afternoon, on top of a very generous donation match by Fifth Third. We'll be hearing more from them a little later on. You want to do the honors, Renee?
Okay, are we ready? Can I get let's do a little brrr.
Yes.
No, too early for that?
That's all right. You know, drummer doesn't come in until 6.
Okay, gotcha. $23,034.
Wow. We are off
and running, as they say. That is fantastic. I'm going to put a challenge out to all of our early First Thing listeners, though. That's our special people, Mike.
That's
and
right.
I know that they're going to deliver for us.
We're a hardy folk who get up this early, and we know that WJR listeners are the most generous listeners, not only in Detroit, but all of radio. 833-SAL-HOPE. That's 833-SAL-HOPE. Or text BREAD to 24365. The goal today is $1.825 million. And we're going to go over to Lieutenant Colonel to talk about the first donation that we're getting this morning.
Yeah, to kick it off this morning, we have from the Salvation Army Advisory Board, a good friend of the Army from Cox and Sangster. We have from Jeff Sangster himself, $1,000.
Wow.
All
right.
Thank you, Jeff.
We're inching closer to that 25 grand.
That's right.
25 grand. And, that $1.825 million, that helps the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club serve nearly 1.7 million meals and provide nearly 52,000 shelter nights for the year. So today is where they get the majority of their funding, and the more they give, the more good they can do.
And we were fortunate enough to be able to experience firsthand the good that they do. You and I got to ride on the Bed and Bread truck, and it was just an unbelievable experience to see the volunteers in action, to hear the stories of those that they're helping. And I can only imagine, Lieutenant Colonel, the stories and the people that you've met along the way.
Yeah, I was out on the truck this past week also. I was out on Monday. I mean, it was a warmer day. People were coming out of the woodwork as such, lining up. What I really experienced was just the generosity first of Metro Detroit providing these services through the Ministry of the Salvation Army. Secondly, people are just generally happy, appreciative of everything that is being done.
It really is. And we'll be going a little bit more in depth after 519, but it really is a reunion of friends every day.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, there's people that are there. They know when the trucks come. The trucks roll out every day to the same location. So there are people that are waiting for the trucks to arrive. That's always interesting. Rolling down the street a block or so away from the stop, people already there waving to you. Know the Salvation Army's coming. But yeah, just to be in the community helping people out.
And I thought it was interesting that it's more than just food that you guys will hand out from those trucks. If you find that somebody needs a blanket, a pair of shoes, gloves, hats, you can do that as well for them.
Yeah, that's so key, Renee. Yes, food is essential, but you need so much other items, personal items. There's hygiene items. There's the blankets, hats, mittens, those types of things. Trucks have them. You can donate to the Salvation Army. If we have them, we'll give them out.
Now let's get to know Lieutenant Colonel Steve Merritt a little bit here. Um, how long have you been with the Salvation Army, and why is it what is it about the Salvation Army that has made it an organization that you've wanted to dedicate your life to helping and benefiting?
Yeah, the Salvation Army. Personally, I've been an officer in the Salvation Army. My wife and I, as officers in the Salvation Army, were ordained in the church of the Salvation Army. Many people don't realize that. Salvation Army is a church. We serve without discrimination. We serve to whoever has a need in front of us. That's a biblical command. But I then personally and my wife, we've been in the Salvation Army as officers for 30 years, almost
Wow.
as long as this Radiothon's been going on. We've served all over the Midwest. We've served here in Detroit in the past. We've been the Corps officers at the Dearborn Heights Citadel. All of our kids, grandkids live here in the area, so had the opportunity to return back to the area this past summer.
And I read that the officers in the Salvation Army, you guys are relocated every 3 to 5 years. Why is that?
That is a great question, Mike. Why is that? It's really a number of reasons. One, uh, there's skill sets. Everybody's a little bit different. So there's times where you just need it in another area. So we follow that paramilitary type of structure. There's no set time limit to an appointment, which we receive. It's an appointment. So we've been appointed here to the Great Lakes Division to Metro Detroit. We don't know how long. I would believe we've been fortunate. My personal family, we've been able to stay places 6, 7, 8 years. So looking forward to a long stay.
Well, we're glad to have you here. Again, the phone number, the Salvation Army phone bank powered by Bullseye Lingo. Everything benefits the Bed and Bread Club, which you'll be hearing about all the great work they do all morning long. 833-SAL-HOPE. That's 833-SAL-HOPE. You can also text BREAD to 24365. And Renee, it seems like the most popular giving level is $120 a month, and that can do a lot of good.
Yeah, you can feed 10 people for nearly a month at $240. And if you donate that, you're going to receive a limited edition Bed and Bread Club Radiothon rain poncho, which this weather, that's very helpful coming up in the spring.
Here's the thing, I do I do a lot of driving around and outside of work hours, and you never think about a poncho until you need a poncho.
Until you don't have one.
Yeah.
And, I thought this number was interesting and just amazing, really. The Salvation Army serves nearly 1.7 million meals annually. So what does that break down to? 4,600 meals served each day. This is so crucial.
And there's nobody who stretches a dollar better than the Salvation Army. But, they can't stretch those dollars unless they have them. So we're going to take a quick break. But again, this phone number, put it in your phone, 833-SAL-HOPE, 833-SAL-HOPE. If it's busy, if you're not a phone talker, you can always text BREAD to 24365. Quick break. We'll be right back at the 37th Annual Bed and Bread Radiothon on WJR.
About 50% of homes in Michigan have basements, and something that we all hope works properly when it rains is that sump pump. I had Ron Alexander from Shelby Mechanical out to my home, and we talked about how our basement has flooded in the past and what a hassle that can be. Something he recommended was getting that backup sump pump installed. Shelby Mechanical is the best when it comes to sump pump installation and service. And with the wild winter weather we've had and possibly wet spring to come, now is the time to get that backup installed. From running toilets to leaky pipes, sump pump, and water heater malfunctions, Shelby Mechanical can handle it. Keep your home dry with a Shelby Mechanical backup sump pump. Call 586-726-9444. That's 586-726-9444. Or visit shelbymechanical.net. That's shelbymechanical.net. For projects big and small, you know who to call. Shelby Mechanical for all your plumbing needs.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Foundation Systems of Michigan. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at drymish.com.
Foundation Systems of Michigan is a groundworks company.
If you're facing $10,000, $20,000, or even $30,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt, there are programs available that can consolidate those debts into one single reduced monthly payment you can afford if you qualify. Accredited Debt Relief is on a mission to help you become debt-free in just 24 to 48 months. They've helped over 300,000 qualified consumers, hardworking Americans just like you, pay off more than $1 billion in debt, earning them an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Accredited Debt Relief will tailor the program to fit your specific budget and financial situation. So call Accredited Debt Relief now for your free no-obligation savings estimate and let them help you take control of your financial destiny.
Call 800-767-6464. 800-767-6464. 800-767-6464. 800-767-6464. Program and services not available in all states.
Join the club that's here for good during the Salvation Army's 37th annual Bed and Bread Club Radiothon. All donations up to $10,000 will be matched by Fifth Third Bank. Text BREAD to 24365 now.
Media Minute with Howard Kurtz.
There is a phenomenon in the media world called the backlash to the backlash. After big-name liberal pundits like Nate Silver and Ezra Klein say they love President Biden, but he's too old for a second term, now some of the loyalists are out in force. Democratic Senator John Fetterman saying on Morning Joe that any Democrat who criticizes the president, I don't know why you do that unless you're chasing clout or want to make some news, but you might as well just get your MAGA hat now because you're helping Trump. MSNBC analyst Claire McCaskill, a former Democratic senator, after a mild New York Times fact check of President Biden's economic claims, says, I move that every newspaper in America quit doing any fact checks on Joe Biden until they fact check Donald Trump every morning on the front page. It's ridiculous. And Lawrence O'Donnell's saying, if you want to dump Biden, can you come up with a name of somebody who would do better against Donald Trump? With your Media Minute, Howie Kurtz, Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate. Why make things harder than they need to be? There's a better way to save time and money. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
We have one accident on the roads right now. That's eastbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road. It's in that construction zone. Traffic's getting by in the left lane only. Construction-wise, northbound and southbound Gratiot at Randolph Street. Right lane is closed there for construction until later this afternoon. Southbound 275 between M14 and Ann Arbor Road. Left lane is closed there until 6 p.m. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy this morning, becoming mostly cloudy this afternoon with a high of 45. Right now, it's 42. Cloudy and cold tonight with a low of 19. Partly cloudy tomorrow, a high of 33. Cloudy and warmer on Sunday with a high of 50. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Start your day with Guy Gordon, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds. JR Morning, 6 to 9 a.m. Stream 760 WJR live on the WJR app or at WJR.com. Welcome back to the 37th Annual Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on WJR. Call 833-SAL-HOPE now to make your donation. or visit sametrodetroit.org and be one of the people keeping Sal Army's bed and bread trucks traveling 180 miles every single day to serve meals to Metro Detroit's most oppressed areas. Once again, here are Mike and Renee.
And as you heard, there are so many ways to give. Renee, they gave out the phone number there, but when we're trying to raise money for Metro Detroit's hungry and people who need a hand up here, you can never give the phone number out too much. And there's also more than one way to give.
Yeah, so the Salvation Army phone bank, powered by Bullseye Lingo, 833-SAL-HOPE. That's 833-725-4673. Or if it's more convenient for you, you can text BREAD to 24365.
And also, if you want to watch the magic happen in front of your eyes, you can go to the Salvation Army Great Lakes Division Facebook page, the WJR Facebook page.
Hi.
We're live video streaming. Renee is waving to you right now.
Hi, Mom.
And we're also joined by, God bless her. We're also joined live by Lieutenant Colonel Steve Merritt. He's the divisional commander and regional CEO of the Salvation Army Great Lakes Division. And Steve, we were talking off the air, and last segment you said that you guys, you and your family lived in Michigan for a number of years, and then you were stationed elsewhere, and you came back. So this is a homecoming for you.
Yeah, this really is. My wife's family is all from Sterling Heights area. And so it really is a homecoming. All of our kids live here. The truth is our grandkids live 15 minutes away from us now. So it's home.
3 East Side kids up here on the stage.
I love it. I love it. Where has this taken you? What other areas?
Yeah, it's taken us to places across the Midwest. We left Dearborn Heights. We went to Omaha, Nebraska. So all the way out on the far west end of the territory. We've been to Rockford, Illinois. Wonderful appointment. Then we spent the previous 7 years, much in the same position in the Wisconsin Upper Michigan Division. That's out of Milwaukee.
And this is the 37th annual Bed and Bread Radiothon. Over the past 36 years, these radiothons have raised a total of $43.1 million. Wow. The goal is 1.825. Not to put pressure on people, I think we can do 2 million. So we're gonna push that. We're gonna push that number.
I love I love how you shoot for the stars, Mike.
Well, that's what I do. I like to overpromise and then have everybody else, pick up the slack. Yeah. So 45 million, very, very likely we'll go over that threshold this today. We're on till 7 p.m. and that's very exciting. And Renee, you have a personal story that you would like to share.
Oh boy, I hope I can get through this without
I got
too emotional.
I got
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you.
There you go.
I personally want to thank the Salvation Army. I think a lot of people have stories, and mine is that your organization was there for us at a time when our family didn't know what we were going to do. My dad was diagnosed with cancer, and it was very difficult. Our family just were hit like a ton of bricks, and you guys came to us. I don't know how exactly that happened, but you heard there was a need. You came to our family and were there for emotional support. You helped us with food because my dad wasn't working, and he was the breadwinner, so to say. And so the Salvation Army has a very, very special place in our family's heart. And so I'm so honored to be a part of this today for very personal reasons. And I know that I'm just one of so many stories, but that was 17 years ago. And it was just unbelievable. I was a kid. So to watch what you guys did for us, not knowing us, you instantly were like a family to us. And so for that, I'm so grateful, as my family is. And thank you so much.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Renee. It's quite touching and appreciative of your description of the Salvation Army. Again, we just want to have, in our community, we want to have eyes of compassion, see people where they are and step forward and help meet a need.
And it was, you guys knew what we needed more than what we needed at that point. And that was an amazing relief for us. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, and I think it's so important that you share that story, Renee, because it just goes to show you that you never know when you're going to need help or how you're going to need help. It's, driving around, feeding, Metro Detroiters. It's a huge part of what the Bed and Bread Club does, but it does so many other things besides the bed and bread truck and ringing the bells outside during the holidays. It's a very holistic approach to whatever you need, we've got you.
Yeah, the mission of the Salvation Army is simply that, Mike and Renee. The motivation is because there's a God who loves us all. We have a message that's based on the Bible. Then we also have a mission just to preach the gospel and to meet human needs, one life at a time. Renee, as your life has been touched, your family's life has been touched, as individuals across the city today are being touched, one life at a time.
And that's something where it's so crucial. You think of the homeless on the streets, but the stories behind how they got to that point. I mean, we could have very, very easily been in that position had it not been from support from the Salvation Army and our family and friends. And I think that that's what people need to remember is we're all just one incident away from some type of need. It's one of those things. I'm doing okay. That couldn't happen to me, and that's so far from the truth.
Yeah, really is important to check in on family members. Important to have relationships in the workplace, in our community. You're so right, Renee. It can happen to any of us. They're only by the grace of God, and so we just again want to be able to step forward, see people for who they are, and just see a need, and then do what we can do to help.
And there's some people who need the help of the Salvation Army long term, and then there's other people who they just need a little help here once they get back up on their feet. And then I would imagine that a lot of those people continue to be involved with either volunteering or donating to the organization.
Yeah, that's a good point. Many people do come back. You mentioned the bell ringing. There's always throughout the year, there's opportunities to volunteer at the Salvation Army, youth programming, music programming, after school tutoring, shelters, the bed and bread, of course, as we keep the trucks rolling across the city. Many areas of need, and where you can volunteer, you can go on that sametrodetroit.org. You can find all the volunteer opportunities to come alongside this Army.
And, speaking of that website, so many ways to give to this wonderful organization. 833-SAL-HOPE, 833-SAL-HOPE. That's the Salvation Army phone bank powered by Bullseye Lingo. You can also text BREAD to 24365. That's BREAD to 24365. We're closing in on 25 grand. We want to hit 1.8 million. I think we do 2 million by the end of the day. It's the Salvation Army Radiothon on JR.
Consumers Energy wants to help your business save energy and money. Their small business store has energy-saving products at low prices, and all with free shipping. Shop the store for great prices on LED lighting, advanced power strips, water fixtures, air purifiers, and much more. Make your business more energy efficient and reinvest the savings into your future. Start saving today by visiting consumersenergy.com/business store. That's consumersenergy.com/business store, and shop and save today.
You're hearing the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR.
A father approached the Salvation Army's bed and bread truck. He had recently lost his job and struggled to make ends meet. It had become difficult to feed his 2 young sons. Thanks to the Salvation Army, he can provide food for him and his family. Your donation of $120 can help feed 5 people for nearly a month. Text BREAD to 24365 or call 833-SAL-HOPE now. All donations will be doubled up to $10,000 thanks to Fifth Third Bank. Join the fight against hunger and homelessness during the Salvation Army's 37th Annual Bed and Bread Club Radiothon. Feed and shelter those in need all year long. Text BREAD to 24365 to double your donation. Thanks to Fifth Third Bank.
Smokey the Bears. Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful. It's the least that you can do.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Fox News, I'm Sue Guzman. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky says resources are running low as his forces continue to battle Russia. He tells Fox's Brett Baer.
If you don't have a real defending shield and some similar powerful artillery with the rounds, of course, you will lose people.
Senate passing a bill giving billions to Ukraine and Israel, but House Republicans won't consider it because it does not include funding for border security. 500 new sanctions against Russia coming today, according to the Treasury Department. President Biden met Thursday with a widow and daughter of a dissident, Alexei Navalny, who was found dead in prison this week.
As to state the obvious, he was a man of incredible courage. And it's amazing how his wife and daughter are emulating that.
President Biden blaming Russian President Vladimir Putin for Navalny's death. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Dive into hibernation mode with a huge deal on deeper sleep during Mattress Firm's President's Day sale. Shop now and save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and receive a $300 instant gift for pillows and more. Plus, get free and fast delivery to your door. Restrictions apply.
We have one accident on the roads right now. That's eastbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road. It's in that construction zone. Traffic's getting by in the left lane only. Gratiot in both directions at Randolph Street. Right lane is closed there until later this afternoon. Southbound 275 between M14 and Ann Arbor Road. Left lane closed there till 6 o'clock this evening. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy this morning, becoming mostly cloudy this afternoon with a high of 49. Right now, it's 33. Cold and cloudy tonight with a low of 19. Partly cloudy tomorrow, a high of 33 as well. Cloudy and warmer Sunday with a high of 50. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart, it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. And now, during the final days of our President's Day sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus 10% off all bases. Ends Monday. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Oh, this cold.
Honey?
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Now I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This is Maria Monti, tax partner at Metro Detroit accounting firm Schindel Rock, making complex business taxes easier. The federal deduction for state income taxes is capped at $10,000. But if you are a flow-through entity like a partnership or S corporation, you may qualify for the new Michigan flow-through entity tax, which is a workaround to the IRS limit. There are deadlines and timing considerations, so contact us today to find the best strategy. Schindel Rock specializes in these and other complex tax questions for Metro Detroit businesses. Learn more at SchindelRock.com.
Michigan comes here to talk.
You have to have two or more people driving in your vehicle to use these HOV lanes during certain hours.
760 WJR.
Human occupant. Your dog doesn't count?
Mannequins doesn't count. Anything else that you may think that would be kind of cool.
JR Morning.
My multiple personalities don't count.
Does your baby count? Is that a high occupancy vehicle?
Yes, your baby counts in a car seat.
Oh,
there you go.
Listen to the podcast everywhere you go with the WJR app on your phone. Search WJR at the Apple, Google Play, and iHeart stores, or say,
Alexa, play 760 WJR.
And now a few words from Dick Purton.
I'll never forget two little kids who lined up, a little boy and a little girl. They said, "Thank you, mister," as I passed the food out to them and so forth. And then I watched them walk away, and they walked to their home, which they said is just 1 or 2 blocks away. And I saw him, the little boy who might have been 7, and the little girl was probably a year younger. And I saw him grab her hand as they walked away from the truck and went to their home, which I said was a block or a little bit more away. And it was really kind of a heart-stopping moment. Little boy taking care of his younger sister with food and everything else that we provided.
Live from the Salvation Army Metro Detroit Division headquarters in Southfield, this is the 2024 Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on 760 WJR. We need your help to continue to feed over 4,600 Metro Detroiters every day of the year. Call 833-SAL-HOPE. That's 833-725-4673 to make your donation now. Once again, here are Mike Parsons and Renee Vitale.
And is the 37th annual Salvation Army Bed and Bread Radiothon. 3 easy ways to give. You can text BREAD to 24365. You can call 833-SAL-HOPE. That's 833-SAL-HOPE. And you can also visit sametrodetroit.org. Everything you donate today goes to the Bed and Bread Club with the Salvation Army, and it's their big fundraising day. We're trying to get 1.8 million today. Let's make that happen.
I'm feeling like it's going to happen.
And we're already off to a good start, and we've got our first phone guest on the line right now, Renee.
Yep. If you're from Metro Detroit area, you know the name Mark Ridley and comedy go hand in hand. But what you may not know is the name Mark Ridley and charitable also go hand in hand. And Mark Ridley is the owner of Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle in Royal Oak and a longtime supporter of the Salvation Army. And each year, the Salvation Army holds its annual Comedy for a Cause fundraiser at Mark's venue, and proceeds from that event benefit the Salvation Army's Bed and Bread program. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Renee. Mike, how are you?
We're great. So, Mark, how long have you been associated with the Bed and Bread program, and what makes it an organization that you really want to support as much as you do?
Well, it goes way back with Dick Purton, and Gene Taylor used to contact me and ask me who the comedian was the week of the Radiothon, and would they come in and do a few minutes, I think it was at the Oakland Mall quite a few times.
Oh, wow.
So I would get these guys up and say, okay, we're going over to the Oakland Mall and you can do stand up for the Bed and Bread program. And I had to explain everything to them. And then they didn't realize, I'm in front of a crowd too. So they were doing stand up early in the morning. But my relationship with Dick Purton goes back to when I started the club 45 years ago. So I, through Dick and Gene Taylor, when he was around, I found out a lot more about it. And obviously it's an extremely, extremely important charity to me. And then of course, Jack Aronson from Garden Fresh, when he wanted to ramp it up and asked me if I would do a fundraiser at the club. So I donate the room, staff, everything for the night. And I think this was the 12th year for us.
Yep, 12th annual, yep.
Yeah. So it's been quite a while, and we've always managed to get the right comedian, because you just can't put anybody up there. You have to be careful.
Like Andrew Dice Clay wouldn't go over that well for a terrible event.
No. But, there are a lot of comedians who realize the importance of this cause, and they're able to kind of rewrite and edit their act so that it fits the crowd. And no one's complained. So we seem to work it out every year.
And, this is really a great night out. I mean, this year's Comedy for a Cause took place on February 7th. It included a nice Italian dinner from Sopranos Catering, and it featured stand-up comedian Steven Rogers. So definitely something to look forward to next year. Do you have a date yet for next year's event? I'm a planner.
I don't. Well, obviously, it's usually early in February prior to the Radiothon, but I'm working with Bill Bouchard, who's helping me with the bookings now. After 45 years, I decided to work smarter, not harder. But I still work hard. I mean, I do a lot of work here on my computer. I'm always watching videos to see who might be a good fit. So I think about it and I talk to agents and say, this is what we're doing. And they're very helpful as far as finding the right act for that particular night.
Yeah, and Steven Rogers, we've seen him on Colbert and the Late Late Show. So these are big names that are coming in to support the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's the cream of the crop as far as I'm concerned. And we try to find the right comedian for that particular evening, and the warm up acts are as important too. So it makes for a very nice experience for everybody involved.
Do you have any idea of how much money you have raised over these past 12 comedy for a cause? You can say a lot.
A lot. I mean, it is. It's been quite a bit. And I'm waiting to hear. I'm asking, how much did we do? How much did we do? And I still haven't gotten the number back, but nobody's complaining. So I think we have raised quite a bit of money, and it's north of $250,000. So
wow.
If someone's listening right now and they're thinking that maybe they want to donate, but they're on the fence, what would you say, Mark, to give them that extra push?
Don't even think about it. If you think about that, your $5 doesn't make a difference. I mean, it goes a long way. So whether you donate $5 or $500 or $5,000, it all goes into the same coffer, and it helps, benefit the needy and the hungry in Metro Detroit.
So, Mark, you can plead the fifth on this if it gets you in trouble. But who would you say is the funniest person that you've seen at the Comedy Castle?
Who's my favorite child, huh?
Right.
There's been so many over the years. I mean, Tom Sharp used to just put me on the floor. Tom doesn't do stand-up anymore, but, he was a regular. He and Dick went back quite a ways, and Tom used to call him his songs. But Louis Anderson.
Love Louis Anderson.
Kathleen Madigan.
Oh, yeah.
I've had just so many. I was talking to somebody the other night. I had Jim Carrey years ago, who my son is 47 now. It was his 16th birthday, and he really wanted to come, so he brought 3 of his friends. I took him backstage to meet Jim Carrey, and it was and that influenced him as far as where he wanted to go in show business, which he is.
Please tell me that Jim Carrey was as great as I hoped he would be to meet.
The nicest guy in the world.
Oh,
I had him on his way out to California when he was very young. He stopped in and did a set, and then when he did A Living Color, his agent called me and said, Jim would like to come back and do your club. And I said, wonderful, let's have him. And I've been fortunate. I'm going to Los Angeles in a couple of weeks, and I'm probably going to stop and see. My business has been around. We had our 45th anniversary, January 4th, and a good friend of mine has had his club exactly 6 months longer than mine. So I think we're the 2 oldest comedy clubs in the country. So, and Jay Leno performs at his club every Sunday night. Arsenio Hall is there. So, it's the opportunity for me to kind of just poke around and do a little field work and see who the up and comers are. And, I'll hit 2 or 3 comedy clubs if I can stay up that late.
Well, Mark,
I can't find anybody doing a matinee show yet.
You know what? Be the change you want to see in the world, Mark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You need to write a book with all your stories. But in the meantime, thank you so much for not only talking to us here on the 37th annual Salvation Army Bed and Bread Radiothon, but everything that you've done over the past however many years. I was going to say 12, but you've been helping for much longer than that. And we'll try to carry it on here for you, Mark. We appreciate it.
Very good. And please, folks, please donate. Don't even think twice about it. It's been, it's $5 will help, or 50 or 500, whatever you want to donate.
And it's first thing on 760 WJR. Mike, we have a brand new total.
We do. Let's hear it.
$23,691.
Wow. The band is here. All right.
The only way that total is going to continue to grow through the day is with your help. And it's so easy to give. The Salvation Army Phone Bank, powered by Bullseye Lingo, 833-SAL-HOPE. That's 833-725-4673. Or if texting is easier for you, you can text BREAD to 24365. So very convenient. Just please, 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 pretty please give. That's my desperate plea for pretty please to give.
Good. I think that's going to bring in a lot of money, which is good because our goal today is $1.825 million. Personally, I think we can do more. But I think we're definitely going to break the $45 million mark total for the past 36 years. It's the 37th annual Bed and Bread Radiothon here on WJR.
Fox on Tech.
What skin color did George Washington have? That may be an odd question to ask, but Google is now having to do some explaining after a number of people using Google's new Gemini generative AI noticed that pictures created of real or imagined people were portrayed as anything but Caucasian males. For instance, one person posted on X, the former Twitter, results of a Gemini query asking for pictures of a pope. In the Catholic Church, popes are male, and there's yet to be one in modern times who isn't white. The generated images showed women and men of color, sometimes wearing non-Catholic garb, along with papal robes. And yes, an image created to be of George Washington showed him with black skin and African features. Google says Gemini obviously is missing the mark, and they've turned off the AI's ability to create images of people while they address the matter of inaccuracies. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
Bill Golling here, inviting you to our President's Day sales event at Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Qualified Chrysler employees with loyalty can lease a 2024 Jeep Compass Limited for just $249 a month. Leases for 27 months, 10,000 miles a year with $2,000 down, plus tax, title plates, and Docker Extra. The Jeep Compass features their 2.0-liter turbo powertrain with the highest standard horsepower and torque in its class. That's Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Roseville, Chelsea, or at golling.com.
I'm Ann Thomas. Congratulations to the 2024 Women Who Lead class. Dr. Kimberly Andrews Espy, Wayne State University president, says the university is part of the city's growth.
We are woven into the fabric of the city. And it's interesting. I'll oftentimes talk to groups of people and I'll ask, whether you or your family member is a graduate or connected to Wayne, raise your hand. At least half will raise their hand.
To learn more about Dr. Kimberly Andrews Espy, go to WJR.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-836-9685 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-836-9685. That's 800-836-9685. What do you have to lose? Call 800-836-9685. Again, 800-836-9685.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Did you know Discover wants everyone to feel special? That's why with your Discover card, you have access to 24/7 customer service, as well as $0 fraud liability, which means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
A couple of crashes slowing you down this morning. Eastbound 96 on the express lanes. After Outer Drive, a crash there off to the right shoulder. Eastbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road. We have an accident in the construction zone. Traffic's getting by in the left lane only and causing delays from Drake Road. Crash it in both directions at Randolph Street, right lane close till later on this afternoon. Southbound 275 between M14 and Ann Arbor Road. That left lane is closed until 6 o'clock this evening. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy this morning, becoming mostly cloudy this afternoon, a high of 49. Right now it's 32. Cold and cloudy tonight with a low of 19. Partly cloudy tomorrow, a high of 33. Cloudy and warmer for Sunday with a high of 50. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
A cobbler from Lakeland, Florida makes the Dean's List for using social media to make others smile. Jim McFarland has been dubbed America's Cobbler and has millions of followers that tune in to watch him fix shoes. Jim's great-uncle trained his grandfather to cobble back in the early 1900s. And in 1981, his dad opened the shop in Florida, and Jim took over in 1986. During the pandemic, Jim decided to try something new. So with the help of his daughter, he began recording videos about his day job. People loved loved it. And more importantly, it brought attention to one of America's oldest professions, bringing interest to people who might not have even thought about this as a possible career. Jim says if you're interested in his line of work, it's not easy. You should be willing to work as an apprentice with another cobbler. But seeing Jim doing his job and loving every minute of it is an inspiration. Jim McFarland, you're awesome, and you made the Dean's List. Janice Dean, Fox News.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Welcome to the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on WJR. $120 feeds 5 people for an entire month. To donate what you can, call 833-SAL-HOPE or text BREAD to 24365 now. Once again, here are Mike Parsons and Renee Vitale.
And you heard it right there. So many ways to give, it making it as easy as possible. 833-SAL-HOPE. That's 833-SAL-HOPE or text BREAD to 24365. We're off to a great start. The overnight numbers came in. We had a very generous match by Fifth Third Bank. We're to 23,691. We're trying to make it to 1.825 million for the day. We're going to be here till 7 o'clock raising money for the Bed and Bread Club, the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club. And again, Salvation Army phone bank powered by Bullseye Lingo. Go 833-SAL-HOPE, 833-SAL-HOPE. Just put that in your phone right now and text BREAD to 24365.
And we've been fortunate enough to be joined by Lieutenant Colonel Steve Merritt in person all morning with us. He's the Divisional Commander and Regional CEO for the Salvation Army Great Lakes Division. Thank you for being our co-host this morning.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you, Renee. It's wonderful to be here with you as we make it to $2 million. I love Mike's confidence.
That's right. Yeah, I like to put the challenge out and then make everyone else work harder. That's my MO. But, it's really important to tell the stories behind who is actually being helped by the Bed and Bread Club and where your dollars go that you donate today. And you have a story about a woman named Betty.
Yeah, Betty has come to the Bed and Bread truck. She's there. She's able to receive food. But the really remarkable thing about Betty's story is it's not just Betty. Along with her is her son, daughter-in-law. Not only her son and daughter-in-law, but 3 grandchildren come with them. Can you imagine? 3 generations coming at once to the Bed and Bread truck, receiving the food, receiving a meal, what they need at that moment of need in their life. And so, again, we appreciate everything that WJR is doing today, this Radiothon, 37th year, as we continue to keep the Bed and Bread trucks rolling.
Go ahead, Ray.
I think it's important to mention, earlier you had talked about how the people that come, they're there daily. That's part of their routine. And I think it's so important that is there for them because it's probably the one constant in their life, the one thing that they know they can rely on every day. And I'm sure that's the case with Betty.
Yeah, you've shared your personal story, Renee, this morning. I'm really, that was quite moving. Again, can you imagine these grandchildren, the stories that they'll tell about the Salvation Army as they're mature, grow up, become part of the community. They'll remember the day that the Salvation Army was there meeting their need.
And you said how many grandchildren?
3 grandchildren are with Betty. So it's Betty and her son, daughter-in-law, and 3 young grandchildren have come into the truck.
Right there.
And, Betty's 9-year-old granddaughter, she's so grateful and so touched by the Salvation Army's help feeding her family that she actually drew you guys a picture and wrote a thank you, to the local Bed and Bread driver.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? I mean, I have on my refrigerator some of that artwork from my own grandchildren, but the children really pick that up. They're able to capture that in their imagination, and something that's touched them, they're able to put that into the art form. That's wonderful.
Well, talking about your drivers, Renee, you and I, we were talking about a little earlier. We had the opportunity to go out on the Bed and Bread truck a couple weeks ago. I know, Lieutenant Colonel, you've been out a number of times. These drivers are such an important part of this operation. We were with a guy named Maurice, and number one, that guy's superhuman fast. We were quote unquote helping him prep the sandwiches, and we're just like, oh God, please don't let us slow Maurice down.
I know, he was lightning.
It's like, as soon as I got one sandwich bagged up, he had 2 out already, and I'm like, Maurice, just tell me if I'm slowing you down. And he was so gracious and so patient, but he really gets to know the people in the communities that he serves. He's really the eyes and ears of the Bed and Bread program overall. And, we talk about your holistic approach. He's giving out sandwiches, but, he befriends the folks he serves, and as a result, they confide in him, and someone says offhand to him, oh yeah, my child needs shoes and my child needs a jacket. The next day he's got one for him.
Yeah, Maurice is remarkable. All of our drivers are wonderful. Maurice, yeah, it's not a job for him. He's personally invested. He knows the people. He knows many of them by name. They know him. I was out with him the other day. We actually had run out of drinks, and he said, hey, he was telling people on the street, hey, stay put. We're not leaving until have a van coming, bringing some drinks. We'll get what you need. It'll be here in just a minute. So he wasn't rushing off to the next location. He was staying put, making sure people receive what they needed.
Well, and he was telling us that, these are his friends. These are people he sees every day. And like I said, it's not just a bunch of people, lining up for soups and sandwiches. It's a reunion every day, and it's a community within itself.
Yeah, it really is. That's key, isn't it? Relationships. That's that friendly face.
Yep.
It's Maurice. I always say, I want to be in a community long enough. People don't call the Salvation Army and ask for the captain. They call the Salvation Army and say, hey, can I speak to Steve? That's what Maurice is doing for the people he's serving. They know him. He knows them. He knows their names. Isn't that so important, to be called by your name?
Yes.
And to be helped in that way. So we appreciate everything Maurice does.
Yeah, it's invaluable. And Lieutenant Colonel Steve Merritt, you've been invaluable to us here this hour. We're going to step aside for Guy, Lloyd, and Jamie. But before we go, one more time, the Salvation Army phone bank powered by Bullseye Lingo, 833-SAIL-HOPE. That's 833-SAIL-HOPE. Text BREAD to 24365. We're off to a great start, but we still have a long way to go. So call, text.
Friday's payday. I'm putting it out there. You got a little extra in that paycheck today? Can you give it today? You can do that.
That's a great point. JR Morning coming up next.
Don't miss the Trading Group show this Saturday at 5 p.m. on WJR. Learn how you can earn a full-time income working from home as a trader. That's the Trading Group show this Saturday at 5. Our question line is 888-646-8787.
At Corewell Health, every leap forward starts with the same question. Can we? Can we use genetics to fight cancers? As in plural, as in all of them? Can we save a person's heart from 500 miles away using robots? Can we combine psychology, biology, and all the ologies to heal the whole person? We can. Corewell Health. Visit corewellhealth.org and discover what we can do together.
Hey, Chuck, it's almost construction season. Where should people go when they need a new roof?
InsideOutsideGuys.com.
New kitchen remodel?
InsideOutsideGuys.com.
Standby generator?
Ken. InsideOutsideGuys.com.
So anything for their house, the InsideOutsideGuys.com. 24/7, no matter what you need. If you have an issue with your home, go to the InsideOutsideGuys.com for housing information you can trust.
Sponsored by SPS Glass Block.
If you have a basement that has a bedroom or you're adding a bedroom, it's mandatory that you have an egress window. SPS Glass Block will install an egress window in your home and do it perfectly, giving you easy access to get out in an emergency. SPS Glass Block is also the expert installing glass block windows. Give Chuck at SPS Glass Block a call at 734-320-1664 and have him come out and give you a cost factor on what you need to have done. Call Chuck at SPS Glass Block today at 734-320-1664.
Explore more at thegreatvoice.com. Get all the amazing content from 760 WJR, from podcast interviews to archives of all your favorite shows, sent straight to your device. Plus, discover exclusives only found on thegreatvoice.com.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes. WJR AM and WDVD HD2, Detroit.
2 Trump legal updates. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The former president's lawyers have filed an attempt to dismiss yet another criminal case. The federal indictment over his handling of classified documents in Florida after leaving office. And like the Trump attempt to dismiss the federal election-related criminal case, he's again claiming he has presidential immunity. The federal appeals court denied the attempt in an election case, but he is appealing that to the U.S. Supreme Court.
With me, I get indicted and my numbers go up. What the hell is going on? Because the people know it's a scam.
That was the former president in Nashville last night at a religious broadcasters event. Tomorrow is the South Carolina Republican primary, and polls give former President Trump big leads over Nikki Haley. Now in New York, the judge who ruled the Trump organization committed fraud in financial transactions, levying a $355 million fine, rejected a Trump attempt to delay enforcement by 30 days.
Judge Arthur Engeron was writing in emails to defense counsel for Trump that the defense attorneys had failed to justify any basis for this stay.
Fox Business Network's Lydia Hu outside the Trump Tower. The former president can still appeal that ruling. President Biden met in San Francisco with Alexei Navalny's daughter and widow, praising them and the Russian opposition leader who died in prison last week.
One thing that was made clear to me is that Yolanda is she's gonna continue the fight he had underway. So we're not letting up.
The president says he's also not letting up, ready to impose new punishment on Russia.
Timed with the second anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine and supplemented for the death earlier this month of Kremlin opposition leader Alexei Navalny, President Biden says a major sanctions package will be announced today.
That's Fox's Jared Halbert. AT&T says wireless service has been restored after yesterday's outage that at the peak had about 73,000 customers reporting issues with their phones. AT&T says it was a technical issue, not a cyber attack. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Wendy's breakfast, 2 for $3 biggie bundles, lets you choose your perfect duo from your fave 4, like a sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee. Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in the combo. Single item at regular price.
I'm here with Greg Ayler, host of Expedition Retirement. Greg, you say when you get near retirement, the issues become more complicated than just saving and investing, such as?
What's going to happen tax-wise to my IRA? What if my spouse goes into a long-term care facility? What if the market crashes? These are the things that are the requirement and basically the backbone of every good retirement plan.
Expedition Retirement, Saturdays at 3, Sundays at 5, on News Talk 760 WJR.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
One more reason to choose Michigan Auto Law.
There's only one law firm that has recovered the top reported truck accident settlement and jury verdict more times than any other law firm in Michigan, including the largest truck settlement in Michigan history. Hire the law firm that knows truck accidents. If you've been injured in a truck accident, you need a lawyer who knows truck accidents. We know truck accidents.
Michigan Auto Law. Autolaw.com.
WJR traffic and weather first.
We have one accident on the roads right now. Eastbound 96 after Outer Drive. It's been moved off to the right shoulder. Eastbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road. An accident in the construction zone there. Traffic's getting by in the left lane only. Traffic backed up from Drake Road because of it. Gratiot in both directions at Randolph. Right lane is closed for construction there till later on this afternoon. Southbound 275 between M14 and Ann Arbor Road. Left lane closed till 6 o'clock this evening. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Native Stem Cell. Are you suffering from hip or knee arthritis? If so, the Reviva-Stem procedure performed exclusively at Native Stem Cell may be the answer for you. Call today to see how stem cell therapy has allowed thousands of patients to avoid painful surgical treatment. Here's your forecast.
Clouds on the increase out there today and a bit breezy at times, middle to upper 40s. 21 tonight. It'll be colder Saturday, sunshine mixing in with the clouds. Highs tomorrow, low to mid 30s. Milder Sunday to finish the weekend. Mix of clouds and sun near 50. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
And now a few words from Dick Purton.
The most popular giving level we have found as the years have gone on is $240. And that's wonderful. That really is. That's I realize most people can't afford to do something. And those that do and give the $240, we are forever grateful. And the people in line, forever grateful. Believe me, they're very, very wonderfully grateful. And they tell us that. That means a lot. It means a lot to us as we're standing up in the truck on the cold days and they're standing outside. I think we say every year there's more need, but we mean it. The Salvation Army is out there 365 days of the year. They never give up. They never stop. Salvation Army urges everyone to take care of each other.
This is the 37th Annual Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on 760 WJR. With 3 ways to donate now. Visit sametrodetroit.org. Text BREAD to 24365 or call 833-SAL-HOPE and keep the Bed and Bread trucks rolling. Now here are JR Morning's Guy Gordon, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
And we wish you a good morning on this Friday morning. Beautiful start to our day. And if you want to make it even more beautiful, if you are filled with gratitude that you've made it to the end of the work week, show that gratitude by texting the word bread to 24365. Very significant number there. 24365. That's the mission of the Salvation Army.
And they do a great job doing their mission.
And this year it's 366, right?
Yeah, that's right. Leap year, right.
So, yeah, if you're happy that you're waking up in a warm home, text BREAD to 24365. If you are filled with gratitude that your kids are not waking up hungry, 833-SAL-HOPE. 833-SAL-HOPE. It's about keeping families fed.
This is my first Radiothon. Happy to be here. This is a wonderful cause.
It is.
We're all of us inundated with so many great pitches from so many worthy charities.
That's true. Yeah.
But I got to tell you, and I've been around a little while, none of them delivers as directly on the benefit. Your contribution goes right to that truck. So if you want to make an investment in your fellow man, there's no more direct way than doing it this way. That's by right. Calling 833-SAL-HOPE, 833-725-4673, because that truck is out there every day connecting with those that need it most. There's no overhead there. The meals are delivered efficiently. This is a no-frills operation, folks, but it just makes such a huge impact.
And I've been on the Bed and Bread truck. So is Jamie. And we know that these people who come up to the truck, they are so appreciative. They're so appreciative of what they get, and they're feeding families. Sometimes there are blankets and gloves and things on there that they pass out as well to really help these people get through their day, get through just a meal. Some just want to get through that one meal, and they are happy with that meal that they get from Bed and Bread truck.
And I know that when you're looking out of the truck, you're looking down at them because
Through
they're on the
window.
street and you're up in this big truck delivering the food, but they look up at you, especially the little ones.
Well, you
And
know, a mom and a
I'm
little
doing
kid.
it to you, aren't I?
Yeah. A mom and a little boy came up to the truck when I was in the truck with Maurice, and it just breaks my heart. But there's no questions asked. You know, there's no. It's all dignified, and
Yes.
you know, it feels like
It's
a
a
soup truck.
judge-free zone,
Exactly.
right? Yeah, we're just there to help.
Then she said, "Can I have something from my child?" And Maurice is like, "Absolutely." And some people ask for 2 sandwiches. Oh, sure, absolutely.
Yes.
What do you need? Do you need another drink?
Right.
It's great.
Maurice has 4 arms, doesn't he? I'm pretty sure.
Boy, I think he does. It's kind of
because
an octopus here.
He's stacking soup, sandwich, warm drink on top, and then we'll deliver it in 2 hands.
Yes.
It's just he's
He was
amazing.
very impressive. Very impressive.
We want to welcome in our first guest. Well, first of all, let's tell you, and hats off to Renee Vitale and Mike Parsons. They've already given us a great launch, $26,254 up there on our tote board. So we're beginning with a bang, and we thank you for that if you've already given. And if you haven't yet, and I know you're probably rushing around fixing breakfast and trying to get to work. We get that. But when you get a spare moment, pull up your mobile device or grab a phone and make this happen at 1-833-SAL-HOPE, 833-725-4673, or text BREAD to 24365. Let's welcome in our first guest, Lloyd Jackson.
Yes, Dave Girodot. He is the regional president from Fifth Third Bank, Eastern Michigan. Dave, good morning.
Good morning. I hope everyone is well. And what a great start. Always like to hear a big number to start my day, especially as a banker. We like numbers.
Well, and with a banker, you can make numbers bigger.
Well, we're happy to be really just help jumpstart this campaign with our matching fund over the wee hours of the morning. And thank you to those donors that have already dialed in. And now we just have to encourage for more. It's pretty amazing when you hear the Dick Burton, ad of what $240 can do and how people can support. It's incredibly impactful, and we're just proud to be a partner of the Salvation Army and the organization, the Bed and Bread program, what they're doing around our great community.
Dave, is $26,254 a good number? I'm asking a numbers guy. At 6:11 a.m.
What I would tell you, it's never enough based on what we see and hear about in our community. But yes, it's a good start. But we know this is a great day for this organization, this campaign, to hit their target of $1.8 million. This is when it really gets going. This is the meat of the day we're getting into. Even though it's wee hours of the morning, I know all of you start really early. Your bankers aren't quite that early, but happy to be part of it and talk about it. But this community will support it. We always get it done. And it's the power of the partnerships and the support of our great people in this Detroit area.
Well, Fifth Third Bank is in the community, and they do so many community things. This is just an extension of what you guys do, and this is a very rewarding partnership with Salvation Army.
That's really key. Is Fifth Third, our commitment to improving lives in the communities where all of us work and serve is just part of our culture. We recognize feeding the less fortunate, food insecurities, homeless. It's just something as a big company, we stand up to say, what can we do to help? And it's not just money, it's our people, our human capital hours. I've had the opportunity to go to Harbor Light, the facility, see them making sandwiches, preparing the meals, to get them on the trucks. It's something I'd encourage everyone to do, to donate that time. And, my team does it, because that's when you really learn, is Jamie, you were saying, being on the truck and seeing these people and how grateful they are for just a sandwich. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
So you guys really got us kicked off great with that overnight match, and it has been matched. And Fifth Third and your employees, you're not done yet. In fact, you've got some additional giving today, and you've got a big day coming up on Fifth Third Day, May 3rd.
It's our, outside the real holidays, it's my favorite banker holiday, Fifth Third Day, May 3rd. And that is a day because it is a full-on give back to the community day for all 19,000 employees of Fifth Third Bank. We go out there. Food insecurity is the number one thing we do. Even last year, we fed almost 800,000 people in Metro Detroit. The company did almost 10 million across our 11-state footprint. It's a day that we take very serious as our own proclaimed holiday, but it is about the communities and where do we give back, and we do that for the entire month of May. And we're I'm not looking to rush time away, but we want spring, and I want Fifth Third Day.
we all want spring. I keep looking at the Tigers. They're playing their first exhibition game tomorrow, and it's just like I'm seizing on every little signal that I get.
Yeah, and absolutely. Speaking of the Tigers, right? There's an option for people for the Detroit Tigers game on June 8th.
Yeah, you can win 4-box seats for the Detroit Tigers game on June 8th, and all you have to do is call the Salvation Army phone bank that's powered by Bullseye Lingo. To enter, just call 833-SAL-HOPE, 833-725-4673.
Yeah, and that again, courtesy of our friends at Fifth Third Bank who have gotten us off to a great start. This match continues this hour. David, we appreciate it, and have a great Fifth Third Day.
Thank you, and let's make this a successful campaign as always is, and have a great morning, and people dial, text, and give, and have a great weekend.
We sure will. Thank you so much, David. And let's learn more about life on the Bed and Bread Truck.
And now a few words from Dick Pert.
The name the Salvation Army is so incredibly well known, not only in Detroit and environs and so forth, but everywhere. And they know the Salvation Army does great work. They know that their money is not wasted. Their contribution is never wasted with the Salvation Army. When they ask people with a favorite charity, Salvation Army most years comes out on top. It's a wonderful, wonderful charity that we just keep telling people every year, please contribute to the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club. Remember, those trucks are out there, and there's nobody else that does that. So we're one of a kind. Please join us.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, postnasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
I'm here with Greg Ayler, host of Expedition Retirement. Greg, you say when you get near retirement, the issues become more complicated than just saving and investing, such as
what's going to happen tax-wise to my IRA? What if my spouse goes into a long-term care facility? What if the market crashes? These are the things that are the requirement and basically the backbone of every good retirement plan.
Expedition Retirement, Saturdays at 3, Sundays at 5 on News Talk 760 WJR.
I'm Ann Thomas. Congratulations to the 2024 Women Who Lead class. Dr. Kimberly Andrews Espy, Wayne State University president, wants you to get a college education.
Between the outstanding Michigan Achievement Scholarship that Governor Whitmer put into place, as well as our own financial aid, this last year, 55% of our incoming class are going to Wayne without paying tuition and fees.
To learn more about Dr. Kimberly Andrews Espy, go to WJR.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Dive into hibernation mode with a huge deal on deeper sleep during Mattress Firm's President's Day sale. Shop now and save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and receive a $300 instant gift for pillows and more. Plus, get free and fast delivery to your door. Restrictions apply.
And now a few words from Dick Pert.
The name the Salvation Army is so incredibly well known, not only in Detroit and environs and so forth, but everywhere. And they know the Salvation Army does great work. They know that their money is not wasted. Their contribution is never wasted with the Salvation Army. When they ask people with a favorite charity, Salvation Army most years comes out on top. It's a wonderful, wonderful charity that we just keep telling people every year, please contribute to the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club. Remember, those trucks are out there, and there's nobody else that does that. So we're one of a kind. Please join us.
WJR traffic and weather first.
We have a couple of accidents slowing you down this morning. Westbound 94 after East Outer Drive, it's been moved off to the right shoulder. Eastbound 96 on the express lanes after Outer Drive, a crash off to the right shoulder there. Eastbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road, accident in the construction zone, has traffic getting by in the left lane. Only we're seeing delays from 96 because of it. Crash it in both directions at Randolph Street. Right lane is closed there until later this afternoon. Southbound 275 between M14 and Ann Arbor Road, left lane closed there till 6 o'clock this evening. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Amnesty Air Duct Cleaning and Insulation. Do your air ducts need some love? Amnesty Air Duct and Cleaning and Insulation is here to save the day. Amnesty will make your ducts spick and span while keeping your home cozy. Schedule your air duct cleaning today at amnesty.com. That's AMISTEE.com. Here's your forecast.
Increasing clouds, breezy and cooler out there today, although temperatures still above average, middle to upper 40s. 21 tonight. Sunshine mixing in with the clouds tomorrow. It'll be colder Saturday, low to mid 30s. Partly cloudy, near 50 for Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
The Spartans Big Ten season is underway, and 760 WJR has all the action. Hear Tom Izzo's interviews with JR Morning every Friday and Monday at 8:35. MSU plays here. Welcome back to the 37th Annual Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on WJR. Call 833-SAL-HOPE now to make your donation, or visit sametrodetroit.org and be one of the people keeping Sal Army's bed and bread trucks traveling 180 miles every single day to serve meals to Metro Detroit's most oppressed areas. Once again, here are Guy, Lloyd, and Jamie.
And if you call right now, you can be eligible to win Fifth Third Bank's 4-box seats for the Detroit Tigers game coming up June 8th. So if you're looking to celebrate spring with the boys of summer, you can do that when you call in at 1-833-SAL-HOPE or 833-725-4673. And we want to thank Fifth Third Bank for that. Also for their $10,000 donation this morning, the overnight match. It's all getting moving on a Friday morning here on AM 760 WJR as we support the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Truck Radiothon, created, started, launched by Dick Purton. 37 years ago. We're joined by Steve Merritt, who is our divisional commander and regional CEO of the Salvation Army Great Lakes Division. Steve, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Guy. It's wonderful to be here. We're off to a great start.
I was wondering about that. So this is my first time. Okay, so 26,000 is good for 6:23 a.m.
Yeah, this is a good start. 26,000. We can do better, but we live in a wonderful community. Very generous people. We'll get there, but yeah, we're off to a wonderful start.
Yeah, we also want to ask folks in the community too. I know a lot of folks get up. The first thing they do is maybe post a good morning to somebody on Facebook. When you do that, if you would be so kind as to put up that this is happening on AM 760, let people know that they can make a real difference in their community very easily by just texting the word bread to 24365. We've made it simple, but we've got 50,000 watts of juice out there to get the word out, but we can use a little help from folks at home too.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Continue to do that. What a wonderful word, bread. It's so important. It's the essentials of life. Again, the bed and bread truck's rolling 365 days. You reminded us 366 days.
That's right.
This year. You've given us another day to be on the streets of Metro Detroit, serving those people that are in need.
And you can help, people who give can help feed 5 people for nearly a month for $120.
Yeah, $120, 5 people for a month, giving them what they need. We don't want anyone to go hungry. We've heard the stories of families coming to the bed and bread truck, children coming to the bed and bread truck. That image of looking up into the truck. We believe at the Salvation Army, we look up daily. Where does our help come from? Our help comes from the Lord. We're here in the community to help everybody have an opportunity to look up.
Well, and people can serve the Lord today by texting and calling. And we should point out, I got to tell you, when you look at that number, that equation, you can feed 10 people for nearly a month for $240. Show me anything in this inflation-ravaged economy.
Right.
And you want to give economy, our inflation, a poke in the eye? A gift to the Salvation Army, because we're beating it to death with that number. When you think how much we do with a $240.
Yeah, the Salvation Army is always, we're an international organization, of course, here locally. The dollars that are raised stay locally, and they go to need. There's no one getting rich at the Salvation Army. It's a ministry. Its purpose, its mission is to get the money to those that are in greatest need. We do that 365 days a year with the bed and bread trucks rolling across Detroit.
Perhaps if people don't know, talk about the trucks, and they make the same stop. They go on their same routes, and people know.
Yeah, I think that's a key, Jamie. It's not a stranger showing up. It's the same route every day. It's the same drivers. The volunteers can come on and be a part of that. But my own experience, the truck is a block away from that particular stop. People are already waving the truck, kind of running along, knowing that the truck's going to be there. That food is coming, food's on the way. You receive, I think that's a key again, that when the truck's going to be there. It's going to be at the same place, same time every day.
Yeah.
So you can line up. You receive food for yourself individually. Maybe you have children, family members at home that aren't physically able to get out. We'll give you the food, wrap it up for you so you can take it home. So we don't want anyone going hungry.
Also, the Salvation Army provides shelter as well throughout the year.
Yeah, really. We provide shelter. We have a women's shelter. We have a shelter for addiction. We provide those beds, and the need is great in the city of Detroit. And so the Salvation Army's mission, again, is just to meet the need without discriminating. We don't ask questions. You're a human. You have a need. Salvation Army's in town and wants to help.
You never know what might befall a family, a breadwinner in the family. We succumb to our own weaknesses sometimes. One of the things that I love, it's kind of like the added value benefit of that bread truck, is that it's a contact point with the Salvation Army, and you have so many treatment services and the ability that whatever put them in the circumstances where they need that truck, you can help them bootstrap their way out of it by reaching out.
Yeah, correct. That's those wraparound services, that holistic ministry of the Salvation Army. Yes, the immediate need is you're hungry, you need food.
Yeah.
Let's take care of that immediately. But then that gives us an opportunity through relationship. It's always key to have relationship, then to move on to more serious things that are taking place in your life. Why is this happening? It can happen to any of us. And so we just want to be ready to be able to come alongside individuals, help them. I love that looking up at the truck, looking up for help today.
Yeah, and looking up with gratitude and in faith as well. And if you want to show your gratitude, call us right now, 833-725-4673, or text BREAD to 24365. More from the Radiothon on AM 760 WJR.
The Ed Milet Show showcases the greatest peak performers sharing their journey, knowledge, and thought leadership.
This is one of the all-time best pieces of advice ever given on the show.
Pro Football Hall of Famer Troy Aikman.
My girls at the end of my life say, hey, my dad was a great father. Then nothing else matters.
Matthew McConaughey.
The best we can do is get to the end of this life and look back and go, well, I didn't make it to the top, but how many stairs did I ascend?
The Ed Milet Show is available on YouTube or wherever you listen.
This Monday at 9 a.m., you're going to hear Kevin Dietz catch up with financial advisors from Financial Services of America. Whether you're investing for the future, planning for retirement, or already retired, you need a partner you can trust. Visit FSA1.com for details.
Connect direct with the WJR app.
Explore more at thegreatvoice.com. Get all the amazing content from 760 WJR, from podcast interviews to archives of all your favorite shows, sent straight to your device. Plus, discover exclusives only found on thegreatvoice.com.
Would you like to learn the truth about retirement planning? Hi, I'm Kurt Cassidy, financial instructor for the Retirement Education Foundation and the co-host of Inside Retirement, heard here Saturday mornings at 6. If you're retiring within the next 10 years or already retired, then join us for our retirement education courses held at University of Michigan, Eastern Michigan University, Oakland University, and Michigan State University, the Novi campus. At this course, we'll teach you how and when to take income from what accounts, at what age, to minimize taxes and to reduce the risk of outliving your money. Join us for our 2-day retirement planning course to learn how to design and implement your own customized roadmap for retirement. To find a course in your area, go to retirementplanningedu.com. Again, that's retirementplanningedu.com. $29 tuition goes to charity. No sales, no solicitation, just pure education. retirementplanningedu.com.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Former President Trump's trying to have the classified documents case against him dismissed, filing multiple motions in federal court in Florida. Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer.
Lawyers for the former president urged a federal judge on Thursday to dismiss criminal charges. Those charges accuse him of illegally holding on to classified documents at his Florida estate. His lawyers are claiming presidential immunity.
Trump attorneys have already asked the Supreme Court to answer the immunity question. An American spacecraft back on the moon for the first time since 1972. That was Apollo 17. Odysseus is a solar-powered cylinder about 13 feet tall and 5 feet wide.
A private lunar lander touching down on the moon's south pole. Only 5 countries have ever achieved a lunar landing. The craft is part of NASA's hope to commercialize moon deliveries ahead of the planned return of the astronaut.
Fox's Kevin Cork. Other successful moon missions have been launched by Russia, China, India, and Japan. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Couple of crashes slowing you down this morning. Westbound 94 after East Outer Drive, a crash off to the right shoulder. Eastbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road, we have an accident in the construction zone. Traffic's getting by in the left lane only. Because of that, traffic is heavy from 96. Crash it in both directions at Randolph. Right lane is closed till later on this afternoon. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy this morning, becoming mostly cloudy this afternoon with a high of 49. Right now, it's 32. Cold and cloudy tonight with a low of 19. Partly cloudy tomorrow, a high of 33. Cloudy and warmer for Sunday with a high of 50. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR traffic and weather first.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
JR Morning, 6 to 9 a.m. with Guy Gordon, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
Everyone knows Henrik Zetterberg, the legend, played his entire career with the Red Wings. Now he's dabbling in sort of a paddle sport, and it's come to Metro Detroit.
I started playing this new racket sport. I got hooked right away. During the pandemic here in Sweden, it got really popular. It's kind of similar pickleball did in the US, I would say.
To listen to the complete podcast and stream 760 WJR, go to WJR.com.
And now a few words from Dick Purton.
Disaster struck when a woman, I think her name was Jacqueline, was living on a fixed income with her adult son on a ground floor apartment that flooded because it was ground floor. In Detroit, they were displaced, and Jacqueline stayed at a hotel temporarily. When she could no longer afford to live in the hotel and could not find an apartment, she found refuge at the Salvation Army Boot Services shelter for women and children. Her anxiety, her worries, et cetera, quickly put at ease as soon as she spoke with her caseworkers. The Salvation Army helped find Jacqueline an apartment of her own, and she thanks the Salvation Army for all the great work they've done to help her get back on her feet, and for families back on their feet too.
Live from the Salvation Army Metro Detroit Division headquarters in Southfield, this is the 2024 Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on 760 WJR. We need your help to continue to feed over 4,600 Metro Detroiters every day of the year. Call 833-SAL-HOPE. That's 833-725-4673 to make your donation now. Once again, here are Guy Gordon, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
And good morning. What a wonderful morning it is. This is my first time doing this radiothon. I feel like this is so special to be here, and therefore they've given me the honor to update the tote board.
First update. All right.
So here we go. At 6:35, the tote board reads 38,015. How about that?
And a half out.
Oh, wow.
Thanks to our very generous AM 760 listeners, and we appreciate it so much. And again, $240 will feed 10 people for nearly a month. These folks do 4,600 meals a day. The efficiency is so incredible. Your dollar goes so far. And where can you say that anymore?
Right, exactly.
Right?
In the world we live in now. And let me tell you, I want to shout out some of the givers because they've done such a fabulous job this morning. We thank you so much for your giving. Donald in Ann Arbor, he pledged $20. Lorraine in Bloomfield Hills, thank you so much, $250. Also, Marcia from Sterling Heights, she pledged $250. Jill in Clarkston, $125. Keith from Saltillo, Mississippi.
Whoa,
far away, $240. Keith, thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to us on the app or streaming.
Yes, and Raymond from Clay, $250. Thank
That's
you so
amazing.
much.
Thank you.
We
Those are
appreciate
not
it.
small numbers. These people are giving. Thank you.
Because they know their money goes right to the folks in need.
Well, and you can get a little something for yourself, too, when you give at the $255 level. You get 2 really neat ponchos, and then you have the option to donate the second poncho to a Bed and Bread client, because it's not just about the food. It's also about shelter, staying warm,
yes,
and just connecting with people in need. And what the Salvation Army does is whatever the need is, they find a way to fill it.
I heard a heartwarming story when I went on the Bed and Bread truck. First, I took a tour of the kitchen and everything that goes on before it gets on the Bed and Bread truck. And some people were talking to me about they ride up, and sometimes people don't have shoes, or they don't have a coat, or they don't have a poncho in the rain. And the person in the Bread and Bed truck turns around, goes to their own car. It's like, you know what? I have a poncho, I have a coat, and drives back to that person. They said, stay right here. And they give as much as they can to these people. That's the dedication of the people who work for the Salvation Army.
Yes.
We will hear later on today, the family of Jack Aronson is going to be here. And Jack was the founder of Garden Fresh. I mean, he took a homemade salsa and he turned it into a multi-million-dollar home-based business. And I mean, the thing just exploded. And this family has been giving back ever since. But Steve Merritt, you know his story, and we'll let his son tell it again this evening when we come back to wrap things up. But just share with us Jack's story.
Yeah, Jack, again, that's so important of being able to have that ability, talents, the skills, things fall in place. He's able to be successful. Lord blessed him. Then that's not the end of the story. He gives back to the community and is able to make a difference, make an impact in lives. Again, Salvation Army is doing that one life at a time as they come to the bed and bread trucks. They receive food, receive a meal, receive a hot food, also receive tangible items, hygiene items, or whatever it may be. I've mentioned shoes. If that's a need, there's an individual, one of our drivers saw a man walking through the snow with his sneakers literally just wrapped up in duct tape. The driver took his own shoes off and gave them to the individual so that he had a pair of shoes. So he came expecting food, also received received shoes on that particular day. But it's from people like Jack, a wonderful family, able to support the Salvation Army so that needs can be met across Metro Detroit.
Well, it's about salvation, and it's in the name.
It is in the name, and it's in the mission.
Yes.
Because this is a faith-based mission, and it's about serving and living through the acts of Christ.
Yes.
And I mean, giving of your shoes is I mean, that is a metaphor in so many ways. And you can make all of these little miracles happen. The 4,600 meals a day, the 140 nights of shelter each night. You can make this happen. And there are many miracles that happen every night and every afternoon when that bed and bread truck goes out. But we need your help to be able to do that. You can do it by texting bread to 24365 because the truck is out there 24 hours a day, 365 days a week. The Salvation Army is giving light and hope where sometimes that is in short supply. And you can share hope by giving hope to these folks. 833-725-4673. Again, $240 is the most popular giving level, and you can feed 10 people for nearly a month.
But you don't
that
have to
donation.
give 240. You can give, how about 120? You can give anything
you can give
want.
anything you
We
want.
just have these
Exactly.
numbers that correlate to
Yes.
120 helps feed 5 people for nearly a month.
Right. We are very appreciative for whatever we get. So.
And we've been getting already early this morning. And as we say, you know, when you're out on the bed and bread truck, these folks look up at you. Each face has a story.
They do.
And it may be a difficult story. You can see that they're under heavy duress in many cases. In some cases, they're members of the working class, but they're working poor.
I was going to say that because I came across someone like that who was working, but it was working poor, and he still couldn't meet the needs of the meal that he needed to have.
Well, and they'll say, you know what? I was set for this month. I was cooking along great, and then my mom got sick, and I had to write a check to get her treatment, and then I was left short in the last week, and that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I would say that too. When I was on the truck, people were coming up wearing their uniforms of their work. People are working, but still can't make ends meet and a lunch here or there is really helpful to them. I have some names in front of me. Catherine from Rochester gave $52. That goes a long way.
That's $1 a week, and it does a lot of good.
Bob from Warren, $250.
All right.
Christine from Warren, $255.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you so much for your help.
Enjoy the poncho, and maybe you chose to share the second poncho with one of the folks that comes to the truck, and we appreciate that. So you're giving food and warmth, which heaven knows spring is on the way, and could it come soon enough?
Oh, my goodness.
I think there's a blessing in this year. It hasn't been as cold, but it's still, think about it. If you're walking through without shoes, as Lieutenant Colonel was talking about, think about that.
But you wake up, you know, we're lucky we wake up every morning in a nice home, in a warm bed, and we have food to eat, but everybody's not like that.
Well, and you know, the third week of November, we celebrate Thanksgiving, and we count our blessings and we give thanks. but there's a way that you can actively show your gratitude, and that is with a call or a text this morning to keep the bed and bread truck rolling for those that need it. 833-725-4673 or text BREAD. This is such an easy thing to do on your mobile device. Thank God AT&T's got things fixed.
Yeah.
Folks can do that this morning. Text BREAD to 24365. We will hear more stories. We'll hear from Dick Burton, and we'll get your morning started off on the right and gratitude-filled foot when we return on AM 760 WJR. It's the Bed and Bread Club Radiothon.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
If you're facing $10,000, $20,000, even $30,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt, stop struggling to stay afloat and call Accredited Debt Relief today for faster relief. Depending on your financial situation, you may qualify for a 40% or higher reduction in your monthly payments and only have to make one consolidated monthly payment you can afford. Accredited Debt Relief has helped over 300,000 qualified consumers pay off over $1 billion in debt, earning them an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. This is the light at the end of the debt tunnel to become debt-free. So make the call to Accredited Debt Relief now and see how much you can save. There's no obligation, so call now and get relief from your debt faster.
Call 800-538-8822. 800-538-8822. That's 800-538-8822. Program and services not available in all states.
GCSI, Michigan's premier bipartisan lobbying firm. Learn more at gcsionline.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
Westbound 94 after East Outer Drive, we have an accident off to the right shoulder. Eastbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road, a crash in the construction zone has traffic getting by in the left lane only. Traffic delayed to 96 because of it. Crash it in both directions at Randolph Street. Right lane is closed there until later on this afternoon. And southbound 275 between M14 and Ann Arbor Road, left lane is closed there till 6 o'clock this evening. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Lake Point Electric. As Southeast Michigan's largest Briggs & Stratton whole home generator installer, Lake Point Electric can also service any make and model of your current home generator. Get an estimate on a new home generator or service of an existing by visiting mylakepointelectric.com. That's mylakepointelectric.com. Here's your forecast.
Breezy and cooler out there today, although temperatures still above average. Clouds on the increase, middle to upper 40s. 21 tonight. Sunshine mixes in with the clouds tomorrow. Colder Saturday, low to mid 30s. Partly cloudy, milder, near 50 Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law, Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
The Salvation Army bed and bread truck has been feeding Detroiters in need for decades. But when the truck stops, the help doesn't.
Our bed and bread program is often a starting point. And so we use this opportunity as we're meeting the most basic human need, which often is a sandwich.
Jamie Winkler, the executive director of the Great Lakes Harbor Light System, on just a few of the services the bed and bread program provides through their Harbor Light Center.
The Harbor Lights, we have a shelter. We also have a detox for behavioral health. Those are struggling with substance abuse.
And just as Jamie is telling us this, a young man named John approaches a group of people wearing the Salvation Army logo to thank them. He has struggled with drug addiction for over 16 years. He walked in the Salvation Army, asked for help. They got him into treatment that day.
I went to the rehab facility, did 6 months there. Now like 215 days clean.
You can help the Salvation Army Bed and Bread program continue this important work by texting BREAD to 24365. That's BREAD to 24365.
Welcome to the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on WJR. $120 feeds 5 people for an entire month. To donate what you can, call 833-SAL-HOPE or text BREAD to 24365 now. Once again, Guy Gordon, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
And in calling those numbers and texting BREAD to 24365, you can help feed 5 people for nearly a month or $120. Feed 10 for nearly a month at $240. And if you donate $255 or more, you'll receive 2 ponchos or have the option to donate the second poncho to a Bed and Bread client. Call us right now. The Salvation Army phone bank powered by Bullseye Lingo, 833-SAL-HOPE, 833-725-4673, or text BREAD to 24365. And on the line with us now is Paul Glantz. He's the chairman of Imagine Theaters and a longtime supporter of the Salvation Army. Paul, good morning.
Good morning, Lloyd. Nice to be with you.
Nice to be with you as well. You and your wife, very proud supporters. I understand that Imagine was a former site of the Radiothon.
We were indeed, and happy to have you back at some time in the future.
I was there for that, and it was. I mean, we love sitting in your chairs, Paul.
Did you catch a movie while you were there?
I would know. We were making our own story. We were producing our own blockbuster at the time, but you were a great host, and you've got a long history of a community and support for the community. It's been a mission for Imagine since your creation, Paul.
Well, thanks, Guy. You know, that's spot on. We are driven to not only serve our guests by providing them with a great entertainment experience, but we also think it's critically important that we not just take from society, but we give back and we help those who are less fortunate. And so this really is indeed part of our mission, and we're, so honored, so blessed to be able to continue to do so.
And Paul, you have 18 theaters in Michigan, so you are embedded here. You know the people around here and how there is a need out there.
Absolutely, Jamie. I'm a strong believer that no matter how badly you think you've got it, somebody's got it worse. And, again, we are so fortunate, so blessed. We've had a terrific receptivity to our product. Our guests, continue to reward us with their business. And because of that, we have the means to try to help those who are less fortunate. So we gladly do so.
I started to watch Dune last night. I had to catch up because I know Dune 2 is coming. That's just one of the big blockbusters that's headed our way.
Boy, we need it. We've had a little dry spell here at the beginning of this year, but starting March 1st, Dune comes out, and then we think the supply chain gets better after that. So we're looking forward to a stronger lineup of movies and get folks back out of their sofas and into the movie theaters.
And I mean, that's one of those sweeping films of huge scope, kind of like Oppenheimer.
That you want to go to the
You
theater.
gotta go to the
Yeah.
theater. I mean, I was flying back from Florida, and I'm watching people watch Oppenheimer on the back of the seat, going,
Right.
"Man, you're missing half the experience
Right.
when you're watching movies that way." That's something that you've got to experience at a place like Imagine.
Well, that's the operative term, experience. We think that's what we're really offering our guests these days is a out-of-home entertainment experience, and it's different than the home experience. And believe me, we have had to up our game substantially over the years because that in-home experience has continued to evolve and get better. But now that just raises the bar for us. It's good for consumers, and I think it's been a good thing for everybody.
You know, when I go to see a blockbuster, especially the action films, I always go to Novi Imagine because they have that large screen. It's about as big as
in cinema scope.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's about as big as a basketball court in there, Paul.
Well, that's exactly right, Lloyd. And you know what? For a kid who grew up in a 45-foot lot, that 94-foot screen looks pretty big.
But also not just playing movies. You guys try and do other experiences too around what's happening in the community. I always get the emails about different things you guys are doing.
Ball games and
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a really good turnout for the Michigan championship game. We were aspiring, of course, to play the Lions on the big screen.
That didn't work out.
Didn't quite work out, but not everything does.
Yeah.
But we're working on licensing it for next year, and so we're not giving up. We're going to go about it. We think the NFL is missing a real opportunity here.
I got to tell you, having that communal experience, and there's something too, even watching a comedy, when you watch it with other people, it's funnier.
Yeah.
You
'Cause
know,
sometimes you laugh at the people who are laughing.
Well, that's true. There's some people watching to be done there as well. But Paul, we know that it's. Can you give us a hint of some of the coming attractions that you got beyond?
Well, no, to be honest with you, I'm not the product guy. I'm the back of the shop business
You are
guy.
Mr.
So,
Entertainment. Come on, don't sell yourself short. You are the impresario.
Only when I'm fed the information up front, guy, and I haven't been, so I'm really in trouble here. Throw me a lifeline, please.
Well,
he's here to talk about support.
I
for the
will.
Salvation
I'm
Army.
going on IMDb right now. So
okay, thanks.
Yeah. No, there's a ton of good stuff coming, and we also know that you've got a little something for the Salvation Army.
We do. We'd like to contribute $5,000 to the cause today.
Woohoo!
Thank you,
Paul. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paul.
You're
Paul,
more than welcome. Glad to be with you this morning.
We love the way you have made this into much more than just about movies, and how you've just reinvented the entertainment experience at Imagine. And have a great year, and thank you so much for being so supportive of this community in so many different ways.
You're more than welcome. Terrific to be with you today, and best of luck. I hope you raise a lot of money.
Well, thanks to you. We're off to a mighty good start. Lloyd, let's do the tote board before we hit the break.
All right, the tote board, our total so far, $44,298.
Thank you. And again, we just beg of you that in your busy Friday morning, just to take the time to call 833-725-4673, the Salvation Army phone bank, powered by Bullseye Lingo, or texting the word bread to 24365. Also coming up, we've got a match you will want to know about in our next hour. Your donation of $1 will do the work of two. So that $240 donation will do $480. It's ahead on AM 760 WJR, the annual Bed and Bread Club Radiothon.
Would you like to learn the truth about retirement planning? Hi, I'm Kurt Cassidy, financial instructor for the Retirement Education Foundation and the co-host of Inside Retirement, heard here Saturday mornings at 6. If you're retiring within the next 10 years or already retired, then join us for our retirement education courses held at University of Michigan, Eastern Michigan University, Oakland University, and Michigan State University, the Novi campus. At this course, we'll teach you how and when to take income from what accounts, at what age, to minimize taxes and to reduce the risk of outliving your money. Join us for our 2-day retirement planning course to learn how to design and implement your own customized roadmap for retirement. To find a course in your area, go to retirementplanningedu.com. Again, that's retirementplanningedu.com. $29 tuition goes to charity. No sales, no solicitation, just pure education. retirementplanningedu.com.
Hello, America. It's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you don't have Consumer Cellular yet, now is the perfect time to switch and save. For a limited time, new customers can get wireless service for as low as $15 a month for your first year. Yep, the same exact nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for $15 a month for an entire year. What are you waiting for? Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and use code RADIO15.
See consumercellular.com/firstyear15 for promotional details.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
The next Republican contest is tomorrow. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and polls keep showing former President Trump has a big lead over Nikki Haley in South Carolina.
When I saw these numbers were way ahead, I said, oh, this is going to be painful. I'm going to probably get another 12 indictments in the next week or two. Although they're backfiring.
That was the former president at a religious broadcasters event in Nashville. Also last night, the former president made another attempt to get another case dropped.
Lawyers for the former president urged a federal judge on Thursday to dismiss criminal charges. Those charges accuse him of illegally holding on to classified documents at his Florida estate. His lawyers are claiming presidential immunity.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer, the former president, also claims he's immune from prosecution in the federal election criminal case, but a federal appeals court has rejected that, leading to a Trump appeal to the Supreme Court. In New York, the judge who ruled the Trump organization committed fraud, ordering a $355 million fine, rejected a Trump attempt to delay enforcement by 30 days. President Biden's just issued a statement marking the 2-year anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which is tomorrow, saying Russia's leader miscalculated badly. And the president's announcing more than 500 new sanctions against Russia, saying Vladimir Putin will pay an even steeper price.
Some of these sanctions will be targeted at folks directly involved in the death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. The vast majority, though, will be aimed at what the U.S. has called Vladimir Putin's war machine, closing the gaps in the sanctions that he's been able to evade.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. Yesterday, the president met with the widow and daughter of Alexei Navalny, who died in a Russian prison a week ago. Navalny's mother says she's been allowed to see her son's body, but Russia's threatening a secret burial. Another American spacecraft is on the moon, transmitting data, but no astronauts are on board.
A giant leap for the future of private space exploration. For the first time in 50 years, the U.S. is back on the moon. A private lunar lander touching down on the moon's south pole.
That's Fox's Kevin Cork. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
We have an accident eastbound on the Jeffries, the off-ramp to Newburgh Road. It's off to the right shoulder. Eastbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road. An accident in the construction zone has traffic getting by in the left lane only. Traffic slow from 96 because of it. Westbound 94 after East Outer Drive. That accident just cleared. However, we're still seeing delays from Harper. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy this morning, becoming mostly cloudy this afternoon with a high of 49. Right now, it's 32, cloudy and cold tonight with a low of 19. Partly cloudy tomorrow, a high of 33. Cloudy and warmer for Sunday with a high of 50. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Get answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group, Brett Brzezinski, for Inside Retirement, Sunday afternoons at 2. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Be sure to start every Sunday at 8 a.m. with JR Sunday with Mark Hollis. Great interviews and conversations all in one place on JR Sunday with Mark Hollis, sponsored by Tryon, your payroll and HR solution. To learn more and to reach out to Tryon, go to relyontryon.com.
Smokey the Bear's voice. Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at smokeybear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Before you make a final decision on leasing any other new vehicle, come see what we can do for you during our President's Day sales event at Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Hi friends, Bill Golling here, inviting you to come see us. Right now, qualified Chrysler employees with loyalty can lease a 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo, the official vehicle of winter, for just $359 a month. Leases for 27 months, 10,000 miles a year with $2,000 down, plus tax title plates and Docker Extra. That's Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, or at golling.com.
And now a few words from Dick Burton.
It was a personal experience with me, and I tried to say on the air during the Radiothon, this can be your personal experience too, ladies and gentlemen. It's just an incredible experience that you go through by giving to the Bed and Bread program. Remember, this is the only charity that I know that has trucks that go in the street, 3 or 4 every single year, and deliver food, gloves, and caps, and so on and so forth, depending on the weather and whatnot. You can imagine the lunch meat that we serve. When I say we, the Salvation Army, of course, ton of lunch meat, to 2,000, I think it is, loaves of bread each week. Those are very, very personal things that we have, that we kind of get in our heart, and we thank everybody for making a difference. Join the club that makes a difference.
This is the 37th Annual Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on 760 WJR. With 3 ways to donate now. Visit sametrodetroit.org, text BREAD to 24365, or call 833-SAL-HOPE, and keep the Bed and Bread trucks rolling. Now here are JR Morning's Guy Gordon, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
It is the last Friday of February, gang. We're going to kiss this month goodbye in just a few days, February 23rd, 2024. We hope it's off to a good start for you. If you want to make it even better, you can help your fellow Detroiters with a very simple donation that does a mountain of good. We're talking about a donation to the Salvation Army Bed and Bread truck that goes out 365 days a year to feed the neediest among us. And it is oh so simple to give. 833-725-4673 will get you to the Salvation Army phone bank powered by Bullseye Lingo, or text the word bread to 24365. And apparently AT&T has fixed everything.
Thank you, Jesus.
They've tied those Dixie cups together and everything is working as it should. And so we won't have any problems getting those texts in or getting those donations in. And you, my friends, are the key to all of this. And if you are like so many of us going, man, my dollar just doesn't go as far as it used to, I feel like it's shrinking in my pocket, this is the one place where your dollar will go farther than anywhere else.
And every dollar counts. We're
It
giving
does.
you these totals of, $240 or $120, but you could give anything you want and it will help people.
It will indeed. And you know who else wants to help people? Our friends at Pat Milliken Ford, who are getting us started in our 7 o'clock hour with a new match, which means that whatever you donate over the next hour, $1 will do the work of 2. That $120 donation will do the work of 240. And that means that you will feed 10 people for nearly a month. Pat Milliken at the other, Brian Godfrey, rather, at the other end of our line, president of Pat Milliken Ford. Brian, good morning.
Good morning, Guy.
So Pat Milliken Ford, longtime supporter of the Bed and Bread program. We appreciate that so much. Tell us what you're going to be doing this morning.
Well, this morning we're going to be matching this hour up to $10,000.
Wow! All right.
Yeah, I've been so touched, as is my family and my team here at the dealership, by the generosity of this community and the work that the Salvation Army does serving those in need around us. So it's the least that we can do. We've been supporting this cause for over 20 years and happy to be able to do so again this year.
And Brian, you guys have provided a truck for the Bed and Bread program as well.
That's true. A number of years ago, we provided that vehicle that was upfit to go help in the community, go out to local schools and such. In fact, I still have a little memento on my desk with a picture of that truck signed by Dick Burton. So I think about that often.
Have you been out on that truck? Because I know one of the most meaningful things we've done is go on the Bed and Bread truck.
I have not been able to do that yet. And in fact, the truck that we donated was not one that's being used to give food out in the community. It's actually used at the local schools to educate children about need in the community and get them to start thinking about that and helping at a young age, which is so important.
It has a name. The truck is named Harrison.
It's a junior Bed and Bread.
Yeah. What is who is Harrison and how did they get this wonderful legacy?
I don't know where the name came from, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I just like that the truck's named. It's for little kids to start their philanthropic lives.
Exactly.
Do you name your cars?
I have.
I have.
You? Yeah, I have. I haven't named this one. Yeah,
but my mother's got a car. Right? She calls it Babe. I don't know if that's because it's a little pig when it comes to gasoline or what that's about.
But I digress.
Yeah, I digress. Brian, give us a sense. Pat Milliken Ford out there. We know you've got a great lineup of vehicles. How are things going?
Things are going well. We're one of the largest Ford dealers in the United States. We're very, very fortunate to have the team we have. We've been serving Metro Detroit for 65 years on Telegraph Road in Redford. And yeah, things are good. Ford has a great lineup right now, and we're happy to serve the community any way we can.
There's no one really out there in the community like car dealers. I mean, you see the people day to day, and anytime you see like a little league team or whatever, it always has the car dealerships of the community. So you guys are really out there.
That's very, very true. All across the country, car dealers do a lot to help the local communities every day.
And you believe as well that, to have that link to the community is very strong for the car dealers.
Yeah, because like I said, we've been here for 65 years. We plan to be here for a long time in the future. So, our goal every day is not just to sell a car, it's to build relationships and take care of the community around us.
For those that want to show their gratitude for your community spirit, Brian Godfrey, tell them where you can find Pat Milliken Ford locations.
So we are on Telegraph Road in Redford, just south of 96, or you can find us at patmillikenford.com. And I hope everyone who's listening today will take the opportunity to take advantage of this match that we're offering and call or text or visit your website and make the donation themselves to support the Bed and Bread Club this year.
And you can call right now to the Salvation Army phone bank powered by Bullseye Lingo, 833-SAL-HOPE, 833-725-4673, or text BREAD to 24365.
Brian Godfrey, our deepest thanks to the employees and management at Pat Milliken Ford, and we thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. That $10,000 match means that $1 will do the work of two. So it's like having your impact doubling if you give now to those numbers that Lloyd just gave you. Time for WJR's Business Beat, brought to you by Shelving.com. We rack your world. Let's check in and find out what's happening in the entrepreneurial, startup, and technological sector with Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of Startup Nation. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Guy, Lloyd, Jamie. You know what we really need? We need more ways to shop and spend money as consumers. Okay, well, maybe not. Nonetheless, there's no stopping the pursuit of myriad ways to shop and spend as Americans these days. One big trend gaining steam, it's shoppable TV. A new report from LG Ad Solutions says that nearly 30% of connected TV users have made a purchase directly from their TV screens over the last 90 days. And 51% of CTV users say they wish they could shop using their TV. Now, while this is still a growing channel for shopping, it's still early in its evolution. For comparison, 56% are buying products via mobile phones these days, 45% from laptops or desktop, 31% from in-store, and 31% from tablets, just by way of comparison. So what's powering this new shopping revolution? Well, for starters, 71% of CTV users say they are always holding their phones while watching TV. And that combination of tech could cost you dollars. Now, the top three methods of buying products, services via TV advertising are sending a text message for information and discounts, scanning a QR code in the ad, and voice activation via remote or smart speakers. 48% of CTV users have scanned at least one QR code over the last 3 months, leading to a purchase of a product right off their TV. The top categories of items selling to consumers these days via connected TV, it's clothing, electronics, automotive, appliances, and groceries. Now look, as business owners operating in an environment where you have so many bases to cover when it comes to trying to achieve an omni-channel approach these days, add one more to your list. I'm Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of StartupNation.com, the source for everything you need to start and grow your own business. And that's today's Business Beat on the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR.
Business Beat sponsored by Shelving.com. Many of Shelving.com's storage products are in stock at their Madison Heights warehouse and ready to ship next business day, like durable Unirack pallet racking, wire shelving, and rivet shelving. They also offer prefabricated modular mezzanines. Shelving.com. We rack your world.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-836-9685 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-836-9685. That's 800-836-9685. What do you have to lose? Call 800-836-9685. Again, 800-836-9685.
Visit Old St. Patrick Catholic Church for their 46th Lenten Fish Fry dinners every Friday, February 16th through March 22nd from 4:30 till 7 p.m. Dinners will include fish, choice of potato or mac and cheese, salad, and beverage. Adult meals are $15 with discounts for seniors and children. Kids 4 and under eat free. St. Patrick's Catholic Church is located at 5671 Whitmore Lake Road in Ann Arbor. For more information, visit stpatricka2.org.
The Detroit Symphony Orchestra presents Red Carpet Film Scores, an enchanting concert featuring unforgettable music from your favorite Oscar-nominated movies. Join us March 8th through 10th at Orchestra Hall for a night of classic blockbuster sounds, performed live by the incredible musicians of the DSO. Buy tickets now at dso.org. That's dso.org.
Smokey the Bear's. Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Temperatures getting low, but demand remaining high? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
couple of crashes slowing you down this Friday morning. Eastbound on the Jeffries off-ramp to Newburgh Road, an accident there off to the right shoulder. Eastbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road, an accident in the construction zone has traffic getting by in the left lane only. We're seeing delays from 96. Crash in both directions at Randolph. That right lane is closed till later this afternoon. Southbound 275 between M14 and Ann Arbor Road. Left lane is closed till 6 o'clock this evening. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Amnesty Air Duct Cleaning and Insulation. Are your air ducts feeling more clogged than a traffic jam on a Monday morning? Well, Amnesty Air Duct Cleaning and Insulation is here to save the day. Schedule your air duct cleaning today at amnesty.com. That's AMISTEE.com. Here's your forecast.
Clouds on the increase out there today and a bit breezy at times, middle to upper 40s. 21 tonight. It'll be colder Saturday, sunshine mixing in with the clouds. Highs tomorrow, low to mid 30s. Milder Sunday to finish the weekend. Mix of clouds and sun near 50. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Stay ahead of your day with essential traffic and weather updates. From sunny skies to unexpected storms, 760 AM has you covered with traffic and weather updates throughout the day. Download the WJR app on your phone to stay ahead of the weather all day long.
And now a few words from Dick Purton.
The most popular giving level we have found as the years have gone on is $240. And that's wonderful. That really is it. That's I realize most people can't afford to do something like that. And those that do and give the $240, we are forever grateful. And the people in line, forever grateful. Believe me, they're very, very wonderfully grateful. And they tell us that. That means a lot. It means a lot to us as we're standing up in the truck on the cold days and they're standing outside. I think we say every year there's more need, but we mean it. The Salvation Army is out there 365 days of the year. They never give up. They never stop. Salvation Army urges everyone to take care of each other.
Welcome back to the 37th Annual Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on WJR. Call 833-SAL-HOPE now to make your donation, or visit sametrodetroit.org and be one of the people keeping Sal Army's bed and bread trucks traveling 180 miles every single day to serve meals to Metro Detroit's most oppressed areas. Once again, here are guide Lloyd and Jamie.
And we want to remind you that Dick Purton's going to be joining us live at 4 p.m. in our 4 o'clock hour with his daughters as we carry on in the home stretch, the anchor leg of this radiothon.
That's wonderful because this is a wonderful cause to be a part of. Happy to be here. We just had Brian Godfrey of Pat Milliken Ford say that they are matching this hour $10,000. So your dollar goes a whole lot farther if you call right now.
It doubles. Your contribution doubles.
And we also talked with him about this junior bed and bread truck that serves, as a philanthropic ambassador to school children. And it's named Harrison. And we're like, well, why? Well, we got some information that we can't exactly say, but it's named after a famous person on the movies,
Harrison,
if you will.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a Harrison, and the truck is a Ford. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that's all we can tell you.
Dad
Okay.
joke alert over here with these two. Anyway.
We've already gotten things off to a great start. We appreciate that, and we hope that you will continue to keep that bread truck rolling with 833-SAL-HOPE or 833-725-4673. Some wonderful people from Bullseye Lingo ready there to take your call at the Salvation Army Phone Bank. Even easier way to do it, grab that mobile device of yours, go to the text function, and text 24365. Punch in the word bread, B-R-E-A-D, and that will make sure that the families and the individuals, the elderly, the old, the young, they come in all shapes and sizes, and they come with one thing in common. They're hungry and they need help, and you deliver hope when you deliver that donation today.
And speaking of donations, I'd like to shout out Renee from Onstead. $52. $52 is really $104 because it's a match, right?
There you go.
So double that. And Barbara from Farmington Hills, $52, another $104 because of the $10,000 match.
Absolutely. And Terry from Beaverton, he donated $54, and Elizabeth from Clarkston, $125. Thank you so much for calling in or texting or however you're doing it. This really goes a
Well,
long
we're
way.
kicking inflation in the tail today, aren't
We really are. Because I defy anybody to show me an example of something where your dollar goes as far and does as much good as a donation to the Salvation Army will today. At 7:23, we want to check in. We've talked, we've all had our experience on the Bed and Bread truck. We've met the clients that are served by those on the truck, and we have one of them on our live line right now. James joining us this morning. Good morning, James.
Hi, good morning.
Tell us about your experience with the Bed and Bread truck.
Well, I went through a Salvation Army Harbor Light, so I went in and honestly, the bed truck, I have no experience in, but what I do have experience in is that I went through Salvation Army Harbor Light and what they call the ASAM program. I was hooked on painkillers. I was homeless. I was hungry, and I went into there. It was February 2022, and so it's been 2 years now that I've been free from drugs, and
wow,
excellent.
I've been working full time. I have 6 children, a family, so it's helped. The Salvation Army's helped me tremendously. There's great people in there, great therapists, great. There's a pastor in there, and so yeah, it's helped me and it's helped my family too. So it's very worth donating to help Salvation Army. It's helping people, and our nation is made of people, and if we help people, then we help everybody in our nation and worldwide. So it's been a tremendous help in my life. It helped me become more responsible, and so it helps people, man. We're all people, so
yeah,
we need help.
Well, James, congratulations on 2 years of sobriety. That is an amazing accomplishment. We know how hard that struggle can be. And one of the things we've been telling folks, it's not just, as thankfully you've pointed out, it's not just about the Bed and Bread truck. It's about having a contact point with the Salvation Army and a gateway to a brighter future and a more hopeful future.
Yes, sir.
And, the Salvation Army provides 52,000 nights of shelter annually. That's more than 140 nights of shelter each night. So it gives different opportunities. And for people like yourself, sir, you wanted the help. You got it here at the Salvation Army.
Yes, ma'am. And when I was in there, they never turn anyone away either. You can just there's something, a little program they have where you could just any time of night. I forgot the name of it, but any time of night. I was in Mount Clemens, but any time of night, if you're homeless, hungry, you need help, you can go there and they will bring you right in. So that makes me happy that I know that there's organizations like the Salvation Army. As a matter of fact, I go to the church now there in Mount Clemens. So they're helping people, and our nation is hurting, and we need people to help us. And so people obviously in the past have given money, and that's supplied the help that they've given me. So it's very worthwhile to donate to the Salvation Army. They've helped me tremendously, so I'm happy about that.
Well, your testimony has given voice to why this is such an important mission today. James, thank you so much for sharing that story. I think you have really brought this message to life with your testimony, and we appreciate it. Bless you, and again, congratulations on your sobriety.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And right now, you can help people just like James turn their lives around with a donation. Text the word BREAD 24365. We're back with more on AM 760.
This is Maria Monti, tax partner at Metro Detroit accounting firm Schindel Rock, making complex business taxes easier. The federal deduction for state income taxes is capped at $10,000. But if you are a flow-through entity like a partnership or S corporation, you may qualify for the new Michigan flow-through entity tax, which is a workaround to the IRS limit. There are deadlines and timing considerations, so contact us today to find the best strategy. Schindel Rock specializes in these and other complex tax questions for Metro Detroit businesses. Learn more at SchindelRock.com.
About 50% of homes in Michigan have basements, and something that we all hope works properly when it rains is that sump pump. Shelby Mechanical is the best when it comes to sump pump installation and service, and with the wild weather we've had and possibly wet spring to come, it's time to get that backup installed. Keep your home dry with a Shelby Mechanical backup sump pump. Schedule today at shelbymechanical.net. That's shelbymechanical.net. For projects big and small, you know who to call. Shelby Mechanical for all your plumbing needs.
The Detroit Symphony Orchestra presents Red Carpet Film Scores, an enchanting concert featuring unforgettable music from your favorite Oscar-nominated movies. Join us March 8th through 10th at Orchestra Hall for a night of classic blockbuster sounds, performed live by the incredible musicians of the DSO. Buy tickets now at dso.org. That's dso.org.
Visit Old St. Patrick Catholic Church for their 46th Lenten Fish Fry Dinners every Friday, February 16th through March 22nd from 4:30 till 7 p.m. Dinners will include fish, choice of potato or mac and cheese, salad, and beverage. Adult meals are $15 with discounts for seniors and children. Kids 4 and under eat free. St. Patrick's Catholic Church is located at 5671 Whitmore Lake Road in Ann Arbor. For more information, visit stpatricka2.org.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The last day of campaigning before the South Carolina Republican primary tomorrow, former Governor Nikki Haley says in an event in Georgetown, South Carolina, win or lose to Donald Trump, she's staying in the race.
South Carolinians deserve the right to vote, as do every other state after that. Let's let them vote.
She's hurting the party, but I don't care. Let her run, because think of it, if she's not running, they're not talking about us. So maybe it's better if she runs a little bit.
Trump at a religious broadcasters convention in Nashville. Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny's mother says she has seen his body but is not allowed to claim it and has been threatened to agree to a secret funeral. He died in prison a week ago. President Biden's met in San Francisco with his widow and daughter.
We're going to be announcing the sanctions against Putin, who is responsible for his death.
Those will be announced today. Navalny's daughter Dasha is a student at Stanford University in California. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
We have an accident eastbound on the Jeffries off-ramp to Newburgh Road. That's taking up the right shoulder. Eastbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road. An accident in the construction zone has traffic getting by in the left lane only. Traffic slow from 96 because of it. Gratiot in both directions at Randolph Street. Construction taking up the right lane till later on this afternoon. Southbound 275 between M14 and Ann Arbor Road. Left lane is closed till 6 o'clock this evening. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA. Put your resume in front of 45 of the largest and most successful electrical contracting companies in Southeast Michigan with the new NECA Careers platform. One upload, endless opportunity for positions like project management, estimating, office support and HR, equipment drivers, and marketing professionals. Upload your resume at smcnecacareers.com. Partly cloudy this morning, becoming mostly cloudy this afternoon. We'll see a high of 49. Right now it's 32. Cold and cloudy tonight with a low of 19. Partly cloudy tomorrow, a high of 33. Cloudy and warmer for Sunday with a high of 50. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Let's get ready for retirement with Chris Alberta and our retirement tip of the day. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Guy, folks are in my office every single week designing safe, dependable retirement portfolios. And oftentimes they're using my Medicare team and the estate planning attorneys. But when they ask me about estate planning and whether or not they should invest the time and money in living trusts, it gets confusing. Look, one thing is abundantly clear in my almost 20 years in this business. We have a beneficiary form laziness problem. Remember, every investment account you open should have named beneficiaries on it. Usually, your spouse would be a primary beneficiary. Children, they'd be called contingent beneficiaries, the ones who split the proceeds in whatever percentages you assign to them. Grandchildren can even be listed as tertiary beneficiaries. You must remember that even the most expensive and comprehensive trusts in the world, it can't help you if you didn't list the trust as a beneficiary of the account. Look, I see these accounts every single day, and at least half the time, there are beneficiary spots left blank everywhere. It's a tragedy that's avoidable. So take the few extra minutes and make sure that all your investment accounts are set up properly. It'll be time well spent.
For more information on how Principium can help you, call 888-800-8949. That's 888-800-8949.
You may not be aware of this, but WJR's on a first-name basis with Alexa.
Don't be silly. Everybody is.
Don't believe me? Just ask her.
Ask away.
Alexa, stream 760 WJR.
Sure. Here's 760 WJR.
We're where Michigan comes to talk. Hey, Alexa, what the heck is your last name anyway?
Nunya.
Nunya? What kind of name is Nunya?
Nunya Business.
Hey, babe, how you doing? It's lunchtime at the Rosa Parks Transit Center on a Tuesday in February.
You're welcome. When it's calm, it's really busy. They come looking for gloves, hats. We also supply those things sometimes, blankets.
That's Maurice. He's the driver of the bed and bread truck. He's been at it since mid-morning, and he won't be done until well after dinner. But to him, he's not just driving around handing out sandwiches.
Oh, yeah, I see if they become our friends. Because you see the same people every day. It's on them about their lives.
Maurice and his fellow drivers, they're the eyes and ears of the bed and bread program. Someone just needs something to eat and a kind smile, he's got you. If you need something more like a safe place to stay, medical care, or even legal help, all of that is provided through the bed and bread program. And Maurice is uniquely qualified to be a starting point because he gets to know the people he's helping.
Some of our drivers have been on the other side of that truck. And so for someone like Maurice, who is very sensitive to the needs of the people of Detroit, we're ambassadors of grace. And we befriend those that have no friends. We love the unlovable. That's the work that we're doing.
You can help the Salvation Army Bed and Bread program continue this important work by texting BREAD to 24365. That's BREAD to 24365.
So that's the drink we have right there.
Live from the Salvation Army Metro Detroit Division headquarters in Southfield, this is the 2024 Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on 760 WJR. We need your help to continue to feed over 4,600 Metro Detroiters every day of the year. Call 833-SAL-HOPE. That's 833-725-4673 to make your donation now. Once again, here are Guy Gordon, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
And on this Friday morning, we are halfway through a very generous $10,000 match from our friends at Pat Milliken Ford, which means that when you give whatever amount, if it's X, it becomes instantly 2X thanks to our friends from Pat Milliken Ford. And that means that the contribution you make will do double the good of a normal donation. And it's so easy to make that happen by calling 833-725-4673. And if you've got a spare moment, pick up that mobile device, text the word bread to 24365. And, we heard, I got to tell you, that testimony from James touches you in a place. Because honest to God, there but for the grace of God, it's so easy for people to get hooked on painkillers.
And where would he have been without the Salvation Army and the help?
Well, and Colonel, he mentioned that he was at Safe Harbor, and I don't know what it was, but obviously in a moment of crisis, he said, I got to leave home. I've got to get help.
Yeah, he was in Harbor Light System. We have a satellite system campus in Mount Clemens. He spoke directly to Safe Harbor, being able to come in at 24 hours a day. It's in the middle of the night. You're in need. You need shelter. You're able to access the Harbor Light System.
And they say don't quit quitting, but in his case, the cure took. And for 2 years, he has been sober, his life back on track.
Thank God.
He is employed. He's with his family, all of it, because he found that lifeline. That came to him in the form of a moment of what he may have felt like it was a moment of weakness, but in actuality, it was a moment of great strength to reach out for help.
Yes, it was. Yes, that takes a great courage on James' part to be able to walk through the door, say this is my need. He spoke directly to Salvation Army wraparound services. So it's more than just a sandwich coming off a bread truck. There's opportunities for the Salvation Army. Get involved, get engaged, make a relationship with James, help him out. I believe I met James last Sunday. I was in worshiping in Mount Clemens at the Salvation Army. James was a part of the team there. His life has changed. Yeah, praise the Lord. He's been sober for 2 years, a clear mind, back on track, relationship with his family. And that's what it's all about. It starts with a sandwich, but there's so much more involved.
We lost Matthew Perry earlier, and he had this horrible addiction, so many different addictions. But for him, it started with an addiction to painkillers because he had a sports injury. The most benign of things, and they prescribe you these pills, and
That's a similar story to a lot of people. You have this
Yeah.
surgery and you get a couple too many pills, or you don't know how strong they are, and you can get into some trouble. So thank God for the Salvation Army, for James's sake, for his 6 kids' sake. And his life is a lot brighter because of the Salvation Army.
And we know when we talk about wraparound services, there are so many disconnects in our society. It might be drug addiction. It might be something as simple that you can't get where you need to go when you need to go there. We welcome in Joe Provenzano. He is Director of Mobility and Employee Volunteerism at Ford Motor Company Fund. And we have had the Jim Vella, who we have had great relations with over the many years, was a great supporter. It's great to have you here, Joe.
Well, thanks so much, Guy. It's great to be here. Excited to just talk about the great partnership that we've had for all these years.
Yeah,
And
talk about that partnership between Salvation Army and Bed and Bread.
yeah, and
Ford.
just hearing James, listening to James'
Yeah.
story, that's sort of where this goes. And you mentioned the mobility piece. I really want the listeners to think about the work that's being done behind the scenes when you think of 4,600 meals being delivered every single day. And as the Ford Motor Company, we think of mobility and freedom of movement and access. That's exactly what this program does. And so you think of the work behind the scenes, you think of what we heard from James. When you get a chance to volunteer, I had a chance to volunteer last year on a bed and bread truck and with Maurice, who I think we're going to speak with later. But community ambassadors, you just talked about building relationships. It's constant relationships that are being built. And so, as the Ford Motor Company Fund, we think of food access. How do we support food access? We think of mobility and access from transportation. And this program really embodies that work that's happening every single day. And those dollars count. Every single dollar counts. You think of the things that we don't see in the background. Oil changes. I know Colonel Merritt and I talk about vehicles, fleets. How is that coming together? How is that operating? And how is that coming to life? And so every dollar really goes a long way. And it's incredible when you think about the numbers every single day that you're providing to people in community. So
How is Ford Motor Company involved here with the Bed and Bread program, with cars, with human beings and their volunteering? How do you support?
yeah, it's a great question. So we have grant making, obviously, to support the operations that go on from very specifically this program. And then the transportation piece, I think, is a little bit unique. So over the years, there's been a lot of different initiatives that we've had in supporting vehicles and upfits of vehicles. And then volunteerism is absolutely critical. So I think traditionally, you probably think a little bit about Harbor Lake Kitchen, food prep, having our employees come out, support that. The Radiothon, taking calls. I think it was unique last year because we had an opportunity to work really closely with Colonel Merritt, Major Andrew Shields, Jonathan Hicks, and others on just thinking about when you get an opportunity to bring a new vehicle on, what do you need? That doesn't happen all the time. So when we think of volunteerism, we were able to leverage the engineers at Ford to sit here and talk with Chef Michael, talk with the team. We have a great relationship across supply chain. So shout out to Morgan Olson and the work that they did with Joe Rudolph and their team. But we really work closely with the team to understand when you're bringing this vehicle to do all of this impact in community, what do you really need and what amplifies and supports the work in the best way that the Salvation Army needs. So that would be one way between volunteerism and mobility that I think is really unique work that we did this last year.
When we know our country's birth, the rallying cry was the redcoats are coming. Here in this community, it's the blue shirts. When the blue shirts are coming, good things happen. And I mean, that's a Ford volunteer. Everybody is the uniform is a blue T-shirt, and that means that you're on the company payroll that day, but you're making an impact in the community. And I think that's such an important legacy at Ford Motor Company is this volunteerism program that you've got.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Guy. And I think, the values of the company, it goes back to the chairman and Bill Ford, and just showing up in the time of partnership and collaboration when people need it most. And, we've had, I feel, a really strong volunteer program for the last 20 years. And we worked with really great partners. And the whole reason we do it is to amplify the work of our nonprofit partners. How do we give that seamless opportunity for our employees to really give a chance to give back, build deep relationships, build strong relationships with community and our nonprofit partners? We've had a great example in the work that we've been able to do with the Salvation Army over the years.
And Joe, what type of feedback do you get from the volunteers? I know they probably come back and say, wow, this is a very humbling experience.
This particular, if someone has an opportunity to go and be on a bed and bread truck, it is life-changing. And when you see how authentic the relationships are every single day. When I was with Maurice, and we'll talk to him later, he knew almost every single person on the route.
Yes, he does.
Personally, greeting, like the care and prepping for the food, the care and just how it all comes together. It's something that you really have to see with your own eyes and experience yourself. But I think volunteerism in general, to that question, really comes down to the relationships that you build. And so, we're fortunate to have a great partnership with the Salvation Army, and we're fortunate to have a great company that allows us to do that, and then also an employee base that is motivated and passionate about it.
Well, it's part of the value added of being a Ford employee is that you're given this opportunity to give back.
Absolutely.
Joe Provenzano, thanks so much. Director of Mobility and Volunteerism at Ford Motor Company, and then the Ford Motor Company Fund. We're looking forward to future conversations. Yes. I know you're in for the long haul today on the Radiothon, and we appreciate you being here. We are and thanks to Ford, Pat Milliken Ford, we're in the middle of a $10,000 match, and that means your dollar does the work of two. When you call 833-725-4673 or 833-SAL-HOPE, text the word bread to 24365. And we come back, one of the most community-oriented law firms in the state of Michigan, with something special for the Salvation Army. That and more ahead on our Radiothon. But now Automotive Views with Jamie Butters, brought to you by the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. Learn more at michiganbusiness.org.
Do you like going to the auto dealership to buy a new car? Maybe not, but would a company store really be a better experience? In the wake of Tesla's success as an EV maker and stock market phenomenon, many Tesla wannabes have popped up. They want to do only EVs, and most of them want to sell directly to consumers. But here's the thing, building out a national retail and repair network is expensive, time-consuming, and not at all related to designing and manufacturing automobiles. Now, a couple of startups are rethinking that plan. Fisker had a long line of hand raisers for its Ocean crossover, but it's been able to deliver far fewer than it's made. And Vietnamese startup VinFast is also taking on dealers to try to establish its brand in this market. Tesla is a one-of-a-kind company. Other new entries might be wise to find their own path and let someone else work with the customers. With this week's Automotive View, I'm Jamie Butters, host of the Daily Drive podcast and executive editor of Automotive News.
What does the future of mobility in Michigan sound like? It's the sound of new EV charging stations at our state parks. It's the sound of $17.5 billion in new investments to produce EVs and batteries in Michigan. And that That's the silence of Michigan's new in-road wireless charging system. Discover all the ways MEDC is driving next-gen mobility in Michigan at michiganbusiness.org/radio.
Hunger and homelessness don't take a day off. The Salvation Army's Bed and Bread program provides nearly 52,000 nights of shelter annually and nearly 1.7 million meals annually to our community's most vulnerable. Your donation to the Bed and Bread Club Radiothon makes it all possible. Donate today by texting BREAD to 24365 and tune into this year's Radiothon here on 760 WJR beginning at 4 p.m. February 22nd, going through 7 p.m. on February 23rd.
It's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sunday at 7 a.m., listen to WJR for the Repco Light Home Improvement Show, sponsored by Benjamin Moore. Each show focuses on design, paint, and home projects. That's every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. The Repco Light Home Improvement Show, sponsored by Benjamin Moore. For more information, visit repcolight.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Wendy's Breakfast, 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles lets you choose your perfect duo from your fave 4, like a sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee. Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in the combo. Single item at regular price.
A few crashes on the roadways this Friday morning. Eastbound the Jeffries off-ramp to Newburgh Road. We have an accident blocking the entire ramp. Westbound 94 at Belleville Road, a crash off to the right shoulder. Eastbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road, an accident in the construction zone has traffic getting by in the left lane only. Because of that, we're seeing delays from 96. Crash it in both directions at Randolph. Right lane is closed there until later this afternoon. And southbound 275 between M14 and Ann Arbor Road, that left lane is closed till 6 o'clock this evening. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Fort Myers Islands, Beaches, and Neighborhoods. There's a My Fort Myers story for everyone. Play on white sand beaches, explore parks and preserves, and get close to nature. Direct flights arrive daily from Detroit at Southwest Florida International Airport. Plan your trip at visitfortmyers.com. Here's your forecast.
Increasing clouds, breezy and cooler out there today, although temperatures still above average, middle to upper 40s. 21 tonight. Sunshine mixing in with the clouds tomorrow. It'll be colder Saturday, low to mid 30s. Partly cloudy, near 50 for Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
And now a few words from Dick Purton.
Disaster struck when a woman, I think her name was Jacqueline, was living on a fixed income with her adult son on a ground floor apartment that flooded because it was ground floor. In Detroit, they were displaced and Jacqueline stayed at a hotel temporarily. When she could no longer afford to live in the hotel and could not find an apartment, she found refuge at the Salvation Army Boot Services shelter for women and children. Her anxiety, her worries, et cetera, quickly put at ease as soon as she spoke with her caseworkers. The Salvation Army helped find Jacqueline an apartment of her own, and she thanks the Salvation Army for all the great work they've done to help her get back on her feet, and for families back on their feet too.
Welcome to the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on WJR. $120 feeds 5 people for an entire month. To donate what you can, call 833-SAL-HOPE or text bread to 24365 now. Once again, Guy Gordon, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
And good morning again from the Bed and Bread Club Radiothon. And we like to remind you that the $10,000 Pat Milliken Ford match is still on for this hour. So every dollar you give, it doubles. All you need to do is call us at the Salvation Army Phone Bank, powered by Bullseye Lingo. That number, 833-SAL-HOPE, 833-725-4673. Or you can text BREAD to 24365. And we want to shout out some of our givers this morning who have done so. We thank you so much for your giving. Mary from Westland donated $20. Also, Daryl from Novi pledged $520. Laura from Howell, $250. And thank you, Annette from Plymouth, $125. Jamie, you have some?
Lloyd, I have a couple more from the phone bank. Michael from Orion pledged $120. Patricia from Harbor Springs, $247. And how about this? Her name is Thelma Armstrong. She donated $400. And here's a little tidbit about Thelma. She turned 100 years old.
Oh, my
last
Lord.
week.
Come on. She's a young one. She's a youngster.
$4 for every year she's been on this earth.
That's right. Thelma, thanks for listening, and for everyone who's donating. Every dollar
Bless her
counts.
soul. And I got to tell you, we just heard from Tracy, who's our producer, and she said she was at the phone bank after James, who's one of the Salvation Army clients, gave his testimony, and she said people called in not just with their donations, but with the story about why they're donating. Someone that was helped in their life by the Salvation Army, and so they're giving back thanks to the work that Salvation Army has and the difference it's made in their lives. And she said a couple of those phone bank stuff were wiping away tears. So we appreciate your donations. We also appreciate your stories and your appreciation for what the Salvation Army does. One of the guys that I appreciate so deeply, because whatever WJR does, whatever partnership we're working on, he's front and center. And that is Doug Bernstein, who is at Plunkett Cooney Law Firm. And Doug, good morning.
Good morning. Much as I always like to see you guys, this is one event that I wish I didn't have to come to. But because there's such a need, we at Plunkett Cooney think it's a very worthwhile cause. And as long as there's a need and there are people in need, the Salvation Army steps up, and we want to help out any way that we can.
You were good pals with Frank Beckman, who was, obviously a cornerstone of this radio station for a lot of years, and you've become very involved. You're also a U of M guy. What is it about the Bed and Bread Truck program that gets you so motivated?
It's just the people that take the time to do things that we wish we would do and don't actually do. They get out there and do it. So while you and I are doing whatever our work is during the day, it's what we don't see. The Salvation Army helping those who really need a hand up rather than a hand out. And that's important to us. And the fact that they're there, they don't seek recognition for what they do, is noteworthy. And we can't thank them enough for what they do.
And Doug, the Bed and Bread Truck, it's really a touch point to the community to help them, not just feed them, but also get them to the wraparound services, the many wraparound services that the Salvation Army provides.
Which is important, and any one of us can be in that position at any time, and we take things for granted way too much. And really, the fact that the Salvation Army and all the volunteers are out there doing their good deeds, we can't thank them enough for it.
I identify with that because when I went on the Bed and Bread truck, I texted my husband, we're lucky for what we have. And he texted back, we certainly are. And so knowing that we're lucky, and people out there listening, you just want to help others because you know how grateful you are for what you have.
Well, and the other thing too is the money actually goes where it's needed as opposed to paying administrative costs. I mean, donations actually make a difference. And I will say this, the fact that I'm following my friends Dave Girodat at Fifth Third and Paul Glantz and Imagine Theaters means we're in the right place, because if they're supporting it, I'm on board for it.
Doug, we thank you so much. And yeah, if you're waking up in a warm home, if you're waking up with a hot breakfast, if you're filled with gratitude that you can do that, think of those that can't support the Bed and Bread truck. Text BREAD 24365. We're back with more on our Radiothon. Thanks to Plunkett and Cooney.
Well, if I can throw in one more thing, I don't come empty-handed. Plunkett Cooney, we lost a dear colleague of ours last month, Laurel McGifford, unexpectedly, and the people at Plunkett Cooney are donating $5,175
Oh,
to
my
Salvation
goodness.
Army.
Wow.
But one more thing I want to add. This is the only time that Plunkett Cooney doesn't mind if other law firms beat us. So if they call in, donate more, we're all for it.
Throwing down the gauntlet. I
That's a
love
challenge.
that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a challenge, Doug. Thanks very much. We're sorry for the loss of your partner and your colleague. We've got a quick update here.
I have an update. I'm very excited. This is the best part of this job. Guess what the total is now?
Tell us.
$135,073.
We've tripled it in an hour. Thank you so much, Metro Detroit and WJR Nation. We sure appreciate it. We're back with more from the Radiothon. Keep that coming.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course, visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Foundation Systems of Michigan. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at drymish.com.
Foundation Systems of Michigan is a groundworks company. Explore more at thegreatvoice.com. Get all the amazing content from 760 WJR, from podcast interviews to archives of all your favorite shows, sent straight to your device. Plus, discover exclusives only found on thegreatvoice.com.
Is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
Putin will pay an even steeper price. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Biden says in a statement this morning, announcing more than 500 new sanctions on Russia, further punishing leader Vladimir Putin for his invasion of Ukraine 2 years ago tomorrow.
Intended to close some gaps in the sanctions regime that Russia has so far been able to evade, particularly with respect to Russia's defense sector. Up until now, the Biden administration has tried to target Russia's economy, including capping oil prices and sanctioning central banks, and also enacting trade restrictions to block the flow of technology and equipment that Russia's military uses.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. The sanctions the day after President Biden met with Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny's widow.
To state the obvious, he was a man of incredible courage. And it's amazing how his wife and daughter are emulating that.
The president and many others blame Putin for Navalny's death in prison a week ago. Now, Navalny's mother says she's finally seen his body, but claims Russia is considering a secret burial. Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer's in Ukraine, pledging support before tomorrow's anniversary. The Senate approved $60 billion in new U.S. military aid, but that is stalled in the Republican-led House. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky tells Fox they need this support to battle Russia.
Our soldiers need, and our people, and at least all this is the security of Europe.
There are two Trump updates. The former president's lawyers have filed attempts to dismiss another criminal case, the one in Florida over classified documents, claiming he has presidential immunity. The same claim being made in a Trump attempt to get the federal election-related indictment thrown out. In New York, the judge who ruled the Trump organization committed fraud rejected an attempt to delay enforcement.
They gave me a fine of $355 million for doing nothing wrong.
The former president last night at a religious broadcasters forum in Nashville.
It's all a big hoax.
The South Carolina Republican primaries tomorrow. Polls show a big Trump lead over Nikki Haley. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, they're making things even easier. They'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. That's progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Quite a few problems this morning on the roads. The eastbound Jeffries off-ramp to Newburgh, an accident there is blocking that ramp. Eastbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road, a crash in the construction zone, has traffic getting by in the left lane only. Because of that, we're seeing backups from 96. Westbound 94 at Belleville Road, a crash off to the right shoulder. Same with southbound 75 after Clay Street. Construction-wise, crash it in both directions at Randolph. That right lane is closed till this afternoon. And southbound 275 between M14 and Ann Arbor Road, left lane is closed there until 6 o'clock this evening. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy this morning, becoming mostly cloudy later this afternoon, a high of 49. Right now, it's 32. Cold and cloudy tonight with a low of 19. Partly cloudy tomorrow, a high of 33. Cloudy and warmer on Sunday with a high of 50. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
I'm here with Greg Ayler, host of Expedition Retirement. Greg, you say the advisor that got you to retirement may not be the person to get you through retirement. Why?
The financial advisors, they're the ones that focus on grow, and investment selection. When they get to the top, there's a whole plethora of new issues that they have to attack that financial advisor usually isn't equipped to tackle.
Expedition Retirement, Saturdays at 3, Sundays at 5, on News Talk 760 WJR.
For all residential and commercial plumbing needs, visit ShelbyMechanical.net. ShelbyMechanical.net. Welcome to Making the Impossible Possible with Henry Ford Health. With us today is Dr. Herb Aronow, Benson Ford Chair in Heart and Vascular at the Edith and Benson Ford Heart and Vascular Institute. And Dr. Aronow is Medical Director of Heart and Vascular Services at Henry Ford. I understand your team is finding new ways to save and improve lives.
We are. Heart and vascular disease remain the leading causes of death and disability in the United States. Thanks to support from generous donors, research grants, and more, our team can be laser focused on diagnosing and treating cardiovascular disease. Doing so positively impacts our patients from around the world who need cardiovascular medicine, cardiac surgical, and vascular surgical care.
That's great. What impact is this having?
Significant impact. For example, we recently published a large national heart attack study where patients who experienced a life-threatening complication known as cardiogenic shock survived at significantly higher rates when treated with a protocol developed by our own cardiologists. In fact, survival was more than 20% higher than expected.
That's incredible.
We're also engaging in genomic research, which takes information from a person's genetic makeup to accurately guide their diagnosis and tailor their care. We're using this to support clinical research trials in heart failure that may expand treatment options, improve care delivery, and provide the best possible outcomes. This will be amplified in our vision for an expanded Henry Ford Hospital campus.
To learn more about how philanthropy fuels innovation, visit henryford.com/development.
And now a few words from Dick Purton. Tim Allen will be with us today and on the Radiothon. And he has been with us, as I recall, every single year, and mostly from California and so forth. He's not forgotten the need of the people out there in the street. And Tim, as you know, is a Detroiter originally, and he has not forgotten these people. He just hasn't. Every year, Tim Allen has been with us. And there are many, many people like that, but he's the one that came to mind here. And we thank Tim and all the other people who have joined us every year, never forgotten us, never forgotten the people out there.
It's the 37th Annual Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on 760 WJR. With 3 ways to donate now. Visit sametrodetroit.org. Text BREAD to 24365 or call 833-SAL-HOPE and keep the bed and bread trucks rolling. Now here are JR Morning's Guy Gordon, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
If you're waking up in a warm house, if you're enjoying a warm breakfast, and I don't care, it doesn't even have to be warm. If you've got a breakfast bar, then you're ahead of a lot of folks in our community. You're starting out your day with nourishment, and too many are not. That's what this day is all about on this radio station, and it's a day we all look forward to because, honest to goodness, it's the day we can do the most good.
This is my first time joining you guys on this radiothon. And from the first number or second number or whatever, that was 44,000. They gave me that ticket that said $135,073. I go, is this right? That's how much money the community has donated in 1 hour. It is very impressive. And it shows that people care.
They do. And they know that the money goes directly to the people in need. Salvation Army has so many wraparound services besides the bed and bread, but the bed and bread truck is the touch point to the community that starts it.
And we know that a lot of this it helps when you're giving to know that you can double, maybe even triple the amount of good that your donation will do, thanks to the generous partners and sponsors we have who will put up dollar matches. And Lieutenant Colonel Steve Merritt, we've got another one to let folks know about.
Yeah, this is a wonderful match. Our friends, longtime supporters of the Salvation Army, led by Kevin from Farmington Hills, is providing $31,000 match for this hour. And so that is wonderful
One
news.
person?
It's a group of his friends, supporters that have come together.
Now that's support.
Providing a $31,000 match.
Now that's some support when they're just community people who say we want to help out the Salvation Army.
And it's great. And they're not looking for recognition.
Exactly.
Right.
This is an anonymous. It's just Kevin and his crew.
And his crew,
Yeah.
right?
Kevin and his crew. Yeah.
Guy, you do all
Thank
the
you.
math then, the math when people donate.
I'm going to be.
It was easy when it was, dollar for dollar.
Right. Right. I may have to actually pull up the calculator on my phone because I want to calculate how many meals $135,000 is going to provide, which is what we've got on the tote board right now. Before we leave, I'd like to double that. I'd like to see $250,000 on that tote board, and we can do it.
Thanks to
With
Kevin.
our listeners, we can do this. And
They've been so generous so far, and I know they'll continue.
This is what makes this bed and bread truck program. And I'm telling you, there is no dollar you will spend this weekend, this week, this month, or this year that will do more good than a donation that you will lay down when you text the word bread to 24365 or call 833-725-4673. Want to welcome in Joe Provenzano. He is with the Ford Motor Company Fund, and they are the blue shirts, and perhaps you'll see them in your community. They may be hammering nails for Habitat for Humanity. You may find them at the soup kitchens. You may see them at Gleaners packing boxes that are going out to families. They are everywhere, those blue shirts.
That's so true, Guy. I appreciate that. We take a lot of pride. I think we mentioned earlier just the values of the company and the opportunity that Ford provides for the employees to really get out in community, build those relationships, and make a difference. And, as I stated earlier, the opportunity to work so closely with Colonel Merritt and everyone here at Salvation Army is just a blessing, because the work that they're doing in community and how they authentically show up and serve meals, and looking at those numbers, 180 miles a day on each of those vehicles that they have.
Wow.
365 days a year.
180,000 miles a day.
180 miles a day.
180 miles a day.
Yeah. And so as they do that and deliver 4,600 meals a day, it's just the amount of work, and I appreciate the strategic thought that Colonel Merritt and his team put into that. When we were talking about the vehicles and how do they upfit the vehicles, they're not only thinking about how they serve the meals, but they're thinking about all their other services. So when we're done serving meals, what can we use this vehicle for? And so that type of thought, I think, really sort of resonates with what Doug mentioned in the previous hour. And it was really about the dollars are going directly to the community, and it's really going to those in need most. So great partnership, and we're proud to be part of it.
I just love the story that you told earlier. I'd like you to tell it again about the engineers at Ford being involved as well, helping.
Yeah. It's something that we think a lot about in our volunteer program is, how do we incorporate more of the skill-based volunteering? Whether it's, communications work, obviously people think of, engineering and our vehicles for sure. But in this particular instance, with the ability for the Salvation Army to purchase a new vehicle, we leveraged the expertise of our supply chain, our partners. It was convening. I think when we talk about food access and what the Salvation endeavors around, there's not one corporate sponsor that can help solve that. And it needs to be all corporate sponsors. It needs to be everyone that's listening, every dollar that is important. But to that volunteer piece, the engineers get so excited, because they're working every day to deliver vehicles to the mission of Ford, but they also have a passion to support community. And so when they had the opportunity to sit down with Colonel's team and, Chef Michael, who's thinking about where does the food go? How do I prep it? How is it most organized? Just to see that thought partnership and sort of back and forth on coming up with the most optimized solution is pretty cool. So it's something we're going to continue to do closely with Colonel Barrett and his team.
Okay, I've been punching numbers. You asked for some numbers. Okay, here's the number. That $135,000 figure will provide more than 5,000 meals, which is great, but these folks need to do 4,600 meals a day. So 135,000, as big as that number is, we need it to be 12 times larger to cover what we need to cover for the bed and bread truck to give us 12 months a year of service to the needy. So as great as that is, that kind of puts into context,
right.
We've got a long road to walk here, and the only way we can get to the destination is with your help. And as we've been saying, it's $240 will feed 10 people for nearly a month. If you can afford to give more, that would be great. If you can only afford to give less, it still does a phenomenal amount of good because $24 will feed one person for a month.
Right. But think about the match from Kevin and his friends. This
Yes.
hour, $31,000 match from this group of longtime Salvation Army supporters.
And you can call and give right now if you call 833-SAL-HOPE, 833-725-4673, or text BREAD to 24365.
When we come back, a guy with a big heart and one of our favorite people, Tom Izzo, the Michigan State University men's basketball coach, joining us live. It's hard to find a guy in his world that's more philanthropic and community-oriented. We'll be speaking with Tom next on JR Morning as we continue with the 37th Annual Bed and Bread Truck Radiothon here on AM 760. Back with more after this.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way, for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage.
When it comes to slip and fall cases, specialization matters. Recently, Michigan slip and fall lawyers recovered $1 million for a woman after 4 other law firms told her she had no case. That's when Michigan slip and fall lawyers stepped in. The result? We recovered $1 million. If you've been injured in a slip and fall accident, you need a law firm that specializes in slip and falls. Michigan slip and fall lawyers. Go to falllaw.com now for your free consultation. That's falllaw.com.
If you're within 5 years of retirement, please listen. For many, continuing to work may negatively impact your future retirement. Hi, my name is Kirk Cassidy, financial instructor for the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program, and the co-host of the Retirement Education Hour, heard here Saturday mornings at 6. For many, your lump sum pensions will be reduced by 15 to 25%. Along with the potential of a recession, this could reduce your overall retirement savings by as much as 50%. To better understand, go to retirementplanningedu.org. Many of you have already saved what you need to give you what you want in retirement. You just don't know it and you're afraid. To learn how to avoid these traps and determine if you have what you need to retire, attend one of our 8-hour courses held at most major universities in Michigan. To register for a class or watch our lump sum versus pension webinar, go to retirementplanningedu.org, retirementplanningedu.org.
This JR Morning Weekly Dealer Download is powered by Bill Brown Ford. At Ford Motor Company Fund, they believe everyone deserves to progress in life. That's what drives them every day as they partner with community leaders and nonprofits to help meet the unique needs of under-resourced and underrepresented communities. As the philanthropic arm of Ford Motor Company, they co-create and invest in solutions to support communities across the U.S. and in more than 40 countries around the globe. Their work focuses on 3 impact areas: expanding access to essential services, education for the future of work, and entrepreneurship. By visiting drivingskillsforlife.com, you'll find information regarding free online and hands-on driver training clinics that pair newly licensed drivers with professional instructors, focusing on issues and obstacles that drivers face. Just one of the many services provided by the Ford Motor Company Fund. For more details, call 734-399-4244 or visit BillBrownFord.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join the growing team at Progressive Insurance. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
We're still dealing with that accident on the Jeffries eastbound off-ramp to Newburgh Road. It's completely blocking that area. Eastbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road, a crash in the construction zone has traffic slow from 96 as traffic's getting by in the left lane only. Northbound 75 at 275, an accident taking up the left lane there. Westbound 94 at Belleville Road, a crash off to the right shoulder. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Guernsey Farms Dairy. Drinking Guernsey milk 3 times daily is recommended by many nutritional guidelines for meeting daily vitamins the body needs to feel good. Make sure when visiting your local grocer this winter to pick up that award-winning Michigan-made Guernsey milk, ice cream, or lemonade, or visit their Scoop Shop and restaurant in Northville. Here's your forecast.
Breezy and cooler out there today, although temperatures still above average. Clouds on the increase, middle to upper 40s. 21 tonight. Sunshine mixes in with the clouds tomorrow. Colder Saturday, low to mid 30s. Partly cloudy, milder, near 50 Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
JR Sunday with Mark Hollis. It's the place to be for the latest on Detroit sports, news, and entertainment scene. Sunday mornings from 8 to 10. Stream 760 WJR live on the WJR app or at WJR.com.
The Salvation Army bed and bread truck has been feeding Detroiters in need for decades. But when the truck stops, the help doesn't.
Our bed and bread program is often a starting point. And so we use this opportunity as we're meeting the most basic human need, which often is a sandwich.
Jamie Winkler, the executive director of the Great Lakes Harbor Light System, on just a few of the services the bed and bread program provides through their Harbor Light Center.
The Harbor Lights, we have a shelter. We also have a detox for behavioral health. Those are struggling with substance abuse.
And just as Jamie is telling us this, a young man named John approaches a group of people wearing the Salvation Army logo to thank them. He has struggled with drug addiction for over 16 years. He walked in the Salvation Army, asked for help. They got him into treatment that day.
I went to the rehab facility, did 6 months there. Now like 215 days clean.
You can help the Salvation Army Bed and Bread program continue this important work by texting BREAD to 24365. That's BREAD to 24365.
Welcome back to the 37th Annual Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on WJR. Call 833-SAL-HOPE now to make your donation or visit sametrodetroit.org. And be one of the people keeping Sal Army's bed and bread trucks traveling 180 miles every single day to serve meals to Metro Detroit's most oppressed areas. Once again, here are guide Lloyd and Jamie.
8:21 on your Friday morning, and it just wouldn't be the Bed and Bread Truck Radiothon without visiting with an old friend who was kind of the quarterback of this organization for heaven knows how many years, but as long as I've been involved. This is my 8th Radiothon, and my first where you haven't been the colonel, where we've been having a great time with Steve here. John Turner, good morning.
Good morning. Great to be back here.
And how's retirement?
I can recommend it to anybody.
Yeah?
Every day is Saturday.
Well, there's Sunday and then 6 Saturdays.
Okay, there you go.
But look at you back here doing some more volunteering and help.
We are. We're going to be on the phone bank, manning the calls as they come in from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock. So if you want to make a donation, then give us a call. Then 833 Sal Hope.
Yeah. This goes to show you how important this is.
Yeah.
And for you as well.
So well, we live in the area now. We bought a house up in Lake Orion, and so we're up there. And it's the first time back at the headquarters building since we retired at the end of June. And it's nice to be back. And I didn't want to miss the radiothon,
because it kind of gets in your blood, doesn't it?
It does, and we're seeing it from the other side now, from the volunteer side. So this is really great. Yeah, and no stress for me. Poor Steve here; he still has the stress on him.
So, how many radiothons is it for you, John?
Well, I did 3 from 08 to 11, and then we were gone for 3 years, and then we were back in 14. So I've done the last 9. So I guess this would 12. This would be my 13th.
But it's like this giant tree that keeps on growing and then keeps on giving more shade, more fruit, however you want to, put a metaphor on it. It just keeps getting bigger.
It's such a great cause. We've been members of the Bed and Bread Club, and it's such an important program. And we just had to continue with it even in retirement.
And it's really no two stories alike. It's so many different stories.
You're exactly right. You meet different people. They all come with a different story, different experience, but they're all being helped by the Bed and Bread Radio from this radiothon. Those trucks every day, the sheltering, the programs down at the Harbor Light. It's all so vitally important to the area.
Your life has been touched by every client that you've served. Give me just a little vignette of a client that you will always remember and you think about when you think about your days at Salvation Army.
Well, I think this program is right up there at the top. We help so many people, and I can't just off the top of my head think, oh yeah, George, or I just don't have a name, but I have seen clients come up to the truck window. I have seen where they received extra services. Continued services, I should say, by getting into the Harbor Light program, getting help with perhaps an addiction problem, getting back on their feet again, and becoming productive members of the society again. And that's what it's really all about. It's not a handout. This is a hand up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jamie, when you were on the truck, was there one face, one person that you met that stuck with you?
Yeah, it was the mom and the little boy who came up to the truck. The little, obviously, you know me, the children's stories are what stick with me. And she so sweetly asked, can I have a sandwich for my son? Of course. I was like, can we give them the whole truck? I mean, but Maurice is really good. He wants to help as many people as possible. Yes, you can have extra, but there are a lot of people in line. So it's the little kids that got me.
So when you get off the lodge, you're coming in the same way I do. You get off Pallister and you turn left. There's that housing project to the left there with the big green light.
Yes.
Okay. So the truck stopped there one day. And this elderly woman in a wheelchair or one of those kinds of scooters to help her, she comes out to the Bed and Bread truck. And now she's living in a nice place. She has shelter, but she can't get out of her wheelchair. And she said, yeah, I have the strength to get out for maybe 10 minutes a day. And so I wait till my dinner hour to do that. And then I get out of my chair and I fix myself a hot meal at my stove. And I love to cook, but I can't do it but 10 or 15 minutes a day. So this means that I get an extra hot meal, and it's why I always come, she gets on the elevator and comes down in her wheelchair, and it was a mighty cold, blustery day that day. And she's wheeling herself out to get her sandwich, her soup, and her hot chocolate, and then, took it back up in her apartment. But it doubled the number of hot meals she would have that day.
And she didn't have to stand.
She could conserve her strength so that she could be there and feed herself dinner every night. And that lady will stick with me. And it's why, when I get fired up here and say, please call, it's for that lady. She still haunts me. 833 Sal Hope is the number to call, or text the word bread to 24365. And let's give some love to some folks that have called in.
Yes, Timothy, thank you for your donation. He's from Rochester Hills, $52 from Timothy. Also, Mark donated $500. He's in Commerce. Thank you, Mark, for that. Deborah's in Commerce Township. She donated $250. And David in Shelby Township, $249. Thank you for your giving.
And you're not just giving, you are sharing your blessings and making them happen for others.
I have a couple more. Pamela called in from Macomb. She donated $240. We have another Pamela, a call in from Allen Park. She donated $500. We have some online donations. James from Brighton, $120. Carol from Livonia, $40 from Carol, and Deborah from Northville, $65. And with
Thank
that
you.
match from Kevin and his friends, these dollars will go even further.
Which is so important. And our thanks to Kevin and Farmington Hills for that match. When we come back, going to be talking with Mark Hackle, the Macomb County Executive. Big Salvation Army facility there. And we've already heard some wonderful testimony from a man who, through no fault of his own, got addicted to painkillers when he was being treated for an injury. And in one night, in his desperation, he turned to the Salvation Army. That desperation turned into a 180-degree life turnaround. And that's the kind of miracles that can happen each and every day.
Yeah, they do.
Through the Salvation Army.
Yeah, they do.
And he is celebrating now his second year of sobriety. Your donations make those miracles happen. And we hope you will shower us with a few more miracles in our last half hour. Mark Hackle, when we come back on JR Morning.
Hi, I'm Stacy Reeves, General Supervisor for DTE. As part of our plan to make your power more reliable, we're installing new smart technology. When it's up and running, our smart grid will have fewer and shorter power interruptions. Our crews are out every day doing everything in their power to deliver the reliability you deserve. DTE.
Hunger and homelessness don't take a day off. The Salvation Army's Bed and Bread program provides nearly 52,000 nights of shelter annually and nearly 1.7 million meals annually to our community's most vulnerable. Your donation to the Bed and Bread Club Radiothon makes it all possible. Donate today by texting BREAD to 24365. And tune into this year's Radiothon here on 760 WJR beginning at 4 p.m. February 22nd, going through 7 p.m. on February 23rd.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Biden announces there will be more than 500 new sanctions against Russia over the Ukraine invasion that started 2 years ago tomorrow, and opposition leader Alexei Navalny's death in prison last Friday.
To state the obvious, he was a man of incredible courage, and it's amazing how his wife and daughter are emulating that.
The president's met with Navalny's widow and daughter. His mother says Russian authorities are demanding a secret funeral, that she's seen her son's body but is not allowed to claim it. An Augusta University nursing student in Georgia is found dead. The University of Georgia campus in Athens.
Police say the body was found with visible injuries in a forested area behind the lake at the campus when a friend called them concerned that she had not returned from Iran. University says foul play is suspected.
Fox's Sue Guzman classes at both schools are canceled today. Stocks are basically flat ahead of the opening bell on Wall Street. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance is making it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
An accident still blocking the exit ramp of the eastbound Jeffries to Newburgh. Avoid that area if possible. Eastbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road. A crash on the construction zone has traffic getting by in the left lane only. Because of that, we're seeing delays from 96. Northbound 75 at 275. A crash there taking up the left lane. And westbound 94 at Belleville Road. An accident's been moved off to the right shoulder. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Pro Concrete Leveling. Uneven concrete causing safety concerns? Count on Pro Concrete Leveling to ensure workplace safety all year round for your commercial or industrial building. Your safety's Pro's commitment. Schedule a free concrete inspection at proconcreteleveling.com. That's proconcreteleveling.com. Partly cloudy this morning, then becoming mostly cloudy this afternoon with a high of 49. Right now it's 32. Cold and cloudy tonight with a low of 19. Partly cloudy tomorrow, a high of 33. Cloudy and warmer on Sunday with a high of 50. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
So if you've done the drugs, the therapies, the epidurals, even the new pain lasers that are designed to treat your pain, that's fine, but they're not designed to treat your disc problem. And that's what we want to do, because treating the disc problem is crucial, because your bad disc is what's causing your pain in the first place. Without addressing your disc problem, your problem is going to get worse, which can ultimately lead to what you want to avoid, surgery. And I was there this past week, and it's an amazing thing to see the treatment and to hear from your wife that it's helping her feel better, which is all I could ask for. And that's what I ask for you. You need to call the Disc Institute at 586-416-3472. That's 586-416-DISC. Or visit nervediscinstitute.com. Reclaim your life today at the Disc Institute.
Michigan comes here to talk.
Now, did I read this correctly that Hunter Biden has threatened to leave the country if Donald Trump wins?
760 WJR.
Did he somehow think that was a threat?
Album.
So does that mean Joe is now rooting for Trump?
Yeah.
Listen to the podcast everywhere you go with the WJR app on your phone. Search WJR at the Apple, Google Play, and iHeart stores, or say,
Alexa, play 760 WJR.
And now a few words from Dick Purton.
Once you give, it becomes a habit, which is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Many, many, many people. Each and every year, as you know, this year is no exception at all. It depends a lot on the weather, and we marvel at how people will still give, even though it might be tough to give that year a little bit, but they do. Every single year they do. And remember, this is 37 years, and so because of that, I believe, I've been told by other people in other, that have gotten into other radiothons in other cities because they heard and read about ours. And they said, well, how do you do it? What do you do? And asked them. We gave them all sorts of hints, and wonderful feeling it is to us as well as the people that give. And once we were successful at the very beginning, not very, with like $5,000, but we kept going, and so did the people. They kept giving.
Ow. Live from the Salvation Army Metro Detroit Division headquarters in Southfield, this is the 2024 Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on 760 WJR. We need your help to continue to beat over 4,600 Metro Detroiters every day of the year. Call 833-SAL-HOPE. That's 833-725-4673 to make your donation now. Once again, here are Guy Gordon, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
And as you go about your busy day, we just ask you to pause just for a moment. It shouldn't take more than a minute to call 833-725-4673, 833-SAL-HOPE. There's so many things to be thankful for, and this is a way to express gratitude.
I would text. I'm a texter, and you can do that too at 24365. It's so easy.
The word bread.
Yes, text bread to 24365.
Couldn't be more appropriate. And maybe you're thankful for the Lions run. Maybe you're thankful for U of M's championship. Maybe you're, heaven knows, we've all got things that we're excited about that fill us with gratitude. But if you're waking up in a warm home and you've got a hot meal, then you are light years ahead of the people that the clients that the Salvation Army serves. And you can have a dramatic impact on their lives with this very simple donation.
Yeah, you can help feed 5 people for nearly a month for a $120 donation. Feed 10 people for nearly a month at $240. And if you donate $255 or more, you will receive 2 ponchos or have the option to donate the second poncho to a bed and bread client.
We want to welcome in a gentleman who delivers through his job as the Macomb County Executive many life-changing services through the social services part of what they do in the county, and that's Mark Hackle, our good friend, the Macomb County Executive. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Guy, Jamie, and Lloyd.
And I know while the county and the state try to do good works and help those less fortunate, it's the private sector, it's things like this that can make an even bigger impact.
Yeah, individuals. Obviously, government runs on your taxes, and that's the unfortunate thing. People don't like to hear about it, but we do certain things we have to do. But the reality is there needs to be that support on behalf of the community for other things that are going on. And obviously, this is one of those things. Got people out there, they're, looking for shelter, looking for food, and there's a big need. And so we're grateful. WJR does this every year to really kind of help fill that void. And it's special when you do give, you feel good about it, but believe me, this money goes to a good cause and it goes directly to supporting people in need.
County Executive, you've been on the bed and bread truck, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. And, it's kind of, again, it's one of those moments that you ever have been on one. Yeah, again, patrolling around the streets, as I did for many years, afternoons, midnights, you see it. You see the plight, you see the challenges that people face, and it's tough, and it's like you do what you can, even from that perspective. But to be on one of those bed and bread trucks and driving around and seeing people coming up to the truck looking for food and being incredibly thankful. I mean, it's like, it really does warm your heart. I mean, honestly, it chokes you up, and you sit back and you think to yourself how fortunate you are to not be in or under those circumstances. But at any moment in time, I mean, that could be, any one of us, given some unforeseen circumstances. And, that's basically, what does happen to folks. And so it is one of those things that tugs at your heart, and not just the men and women to come up there, but even the children. And
right.
It really is something everybody needs an opportunity to do to really truly understand what this need is all about.
A lot of folks don't understand, Mark, that when you're out there as a deputy or an officer, that you, to some degree, are also a social worker, that you're coming into contact with the public and sometimes on their worst day, but you can, whether it's a fire that has befallen them that you're responding to as a first responder, there's a Salvation Army truck that can give support to first responders as well. That you at least have the ability to, when you see someone in trouble, refer them to the Salvation Army facility that's there in Macomb County.
You're absolutely right, Guy. And it's unfortunate sometimes you hear about that negative, because you do see the one-offs, where somebody does something wrong in law enforcement. But the reality is I've been there, done that. I've seen it. And I'm going to tell you, most police officers, firefighters, EMS workers that are out there, they're not dealing with just, people that are speeding or because they got to go and arrest somebody for some crime that they may have committed, or, putting out a fire. They see the other things that are happening within the community. They get to know the people. And I'm going to tell you, 99.9% of them try to find a way to assist them in ways that people don't think is really their job or their responsibility, but they do. They take it upon themselves because they're very compassionate. So you do see it, but here's a way now for people in a community to say, maybe I can't have that direct impact and seeing it, touching it, feeling it, and doing something. But by contributing some funds, it's going to help those that are really involved in these programs and projects to help get them funds to these folks directly, so that they're not out there without a warm bed, or they're not out there looking to figure out where they're going to get that next meal that's provided by the Salvation Army.
And if you want to help, the Salvation Army phone bank, powered by Bullseye Lingo, 833-SAL-HOPE. That's 833-725-4673. Or you can text BREAD to 24365. That is so easy. You can just shoot off a text and get a donation that way. And Mark, we talked about the bread truck and how it starts there with a warm meal, a sandwich, what have you, but it can grow from there and people's lives can be changed.
Oh, there's no question about it. I mean, that simple act of kindness sometimes takes people in a different direction. I digress for a moment if I can. I go back to the law enforcement thing that Guy brought up, and we had an officer that pulled somebody over. The guy was in dire, he was some need of help, but he was so upset. And it's all he did. He started crying. He was an adult male. Started crying and asked the officer for a hug. And guess what? That officer did just that. gave the guy a hug, and I'm going to tell you, it was transformational. To this day, that guy still talks to the officer, still thankful, just because he was down and out, and all he wanted was a simple hug because of some emotional things that he was going through. Well, if we can lift some people up by providing them some kind of their next meal or an opportunity to have warm shelter, that is the starting point to get them to some place where they need to be so they can be more self-sufficient and take care of themselves and or even their family.
You know, there are people on the streets, and if you're leaving a Red Wings game or leaving something downtown, you might just walk by.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people want to be seen and be acknowledged, and the Salvation Army does that. And there's no question at the bed and bread truck. It's, what do you need? How can we help?
You're right, Jimmy. I'm telling you, working that truck, the folks that are working those trucks know these people by name. And when they come up, they're having conversation. They're very thankful. They're joyful. It's not one of those experiences where you're looking. It's sad in a way if you've never been there. But these folks know that they're that lifeline and they're helping them. And they've developed relationships with these people as they continue to do the work that they do.
And it's the touch point, the bed and bread truck is the touch point to the community, because that opens up to other services and wraparound services that the Salvation Army provides.
You're absolutely right, Lloyd. And again, many communities do have that helpful support. As I mentioned, our Macomb Community Action Organization has wraparound services. We try to connect with people and take it a step further to assist them. And sometimes it's, with their utilities, getting them job opportunities. So there's so much more that goes on that connects with Salvation Army. That's why this is so important.
Mark Hackle, we thank you so much. You give a personal touch to all that you do in Macomb County, and that's deeply appreciated. And I think the law enforcement experience that you have makes you, I think, an even more compassionate leader than you would have been otherwise. And that really is just so helpful in the role that you play, and we sure appreciate it.
Thanks, guy. Thanks, Lloyd. Thanks, Jamie.
Have a good day.
Have a great day. We are in the midst of a match, a $31,000 match from our friend Kevin in Farmington Hills. Kevin and company, he and his friends put together a fund, and it means that $1 that you will donate will do the work of $2 or $3. It will triple the impact of what happens here. Now, we've got $135,000 on our tote board. Before Jamie, Lloyd, and I head out of here, we would like to double that. We'd like to go from a month's worth of meals to 2 months. We want to give Kevin, Tom, and Chris Renwick, the rest of our team, a good start on that. I'm going to be back at 4:00, but we got the final 15 minutes here, and we need your help. And you can make it happening by texting the word bread to 24365 right now, or donating to 833 Sal Hope. That's 833 Sal Hope. We're in the final leg of our part of the marathon. We hope that you will put us over the top for this hour when we come back on News Talk 760 WJR.
At Corewell Health, every leap forward starts with the same question. Can we? Can we use genetics to fight cancers? As in plural, as in all of them? Can we save a person's heart from 500 miles away using robots? Can we combine psychology, biology, and all the ologies to heal the whole person? We can. Corewell Health. Visit corewellhealth.org and discover what we can do together.
It's easy to see. We're being conned by the institutions we used to trust. The mainstream media is distracting us with meaningless headlines instead of focusing on the harsh realities facing American families. We all know something big is coming, and that's why so many folks are preparing. They're becoming more self-reliant by investing in emergency food storage from My Patriot Supply. My Patriot Supply is the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, and they make it easy for you to prepare. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and secure some emergency food kits. There's a dozen to choose from that contain tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, averaging 2,000 calories per day. Get at least one food kit for each family member. My Patriot Supply also sells large solar generators, gravity-powered water filtration systems, heirloom seeds for your garden, and survival gear. Order by 3 p.m. and your items will ship that same day. Time is short. Prepare today. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. mypatriotsupply.com.
Hi friends, Bill Gowling here to tell you that it's Ram Truck Month all February long at Gowling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. The Ram 1500 is the most luxurious and technologically advanced Ram 1500 ever. This month, qualified Chrysler employees with loyalty can lease the 2024 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cab 4x4 for just $319 a month. Leases for 39 months, 10,000 miles a year with $2,000 down, plus tax, title plates, and Docker Extra. That's Gowling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, or at Gowling.com.
Managing multiple residential properties or commercial buildings can be extremely tough when it comes to finding the right contractors to trust and help maintain them. I know many property management professionals call Shelby Mechanical. After talking with Ron Alexander from Shelby Mechanical, he told me how proud he is to work with businesses throughout the area and how they can perform both rough and finished plumbing services for a wide range of industries. From new commercial plumbing installation to plumbing renovation work and restaurant plumbing, you can count on their team. If you're a property management company looking for a trusted plumbing expert, call Shelby Mechanical at 586-726-9444. That's 586-726-9444, or visit shelbymechanical.net. That's shelbymechanical.net. For projects big and small, you know who to call. Shelby Mechanical for all your plumbing needs.
The headlines are full of major legal cases, both locally and nationally. But do we really ever get the inside story? Todd Flood of Flood Law, one of WJR's legal experts, will take you inside the courtroom and get the real story on Behind the Bench this Friday at 7 p.m. Todd will speak with judges, attorneys, and other special guests to help explain what the real legal issues are and what needs to be done to help you navigate our legal system. Behind the Bench this Friday at 7 p.m. is presented by Flood Law. Learn more at floodlaw.com.
GCSI, Michigan's premier bipartisan lobbying firm. Learn more at gcsionline.com.
WJR traffic and weather first.
Still many problems on the roadways this morning. Eastbound, the Jeffries off-ramp to Newburgh Road completely blocked by a crash. Eastbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road, a crash in the construction zone has traffic getting by in the left lane only. Because of that, we're seeing stop-and-go travel from 96. Northbound 75 at 275, an accident there taking up the left lane. Gratiot in both directions at Randolph. We have the right lane closed for construction till later this afternoon. Southbound 275 between M14 and Ann Arbor Road. Left lane is closed there as well. That's in place till 6 o'clock this evening. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Times middle to upper 40s, 21 tonight. It'll be colder Saturday, sunshine mixing in with the clouds. Highs tomorrow, low to mid 30s. Milder Sunday to finish the weekend. Mix of clouds and sun near 50. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law, auto accident attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
And now a few words from Dick Purton.
I'll never forget two little kids who lined up, a little boy and a little girl. They said, "Thank you, mister," as I passed the food out to them and so forth. And then I watched them walk away, and they walked to their home, which they said is just 1 or 2 blocks away. And I saw him, the little boy who might have been 7, and the little girl was probably a year younger. And I saw him grab her hand as they walked away from the truck and went to their home, which I said was a block or a little bit more away. And it was really kind of a heart-stopping moment. Little boy taking care of his younger sister with food and everything else that we provided.
Welcome to the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on WJR. $120 feeds 5 people for an entire month. To donate what you can, call 833-SAL-HOPE. Or text bread to 24365 now. Once again, Guy Gordon, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
So we're in the home stretch, guys. We talked about seeing the faces of the children that come to the truck. But I'll tell you what haunts me is the faces of the parents who are in the last place that you want to be as a parent, where you have to say, I can't provide for my child right now. I can't give them what I so desperately want to give them, and I need help. The looks on the parents' faces is a haunting thing, and none of us, and you can imagine how you would feel as a parent, the desperation.
Yes.
But the hope that comes from that truck will make all the difference in their lives until they can get back on their feet, and the Salvation Army gives them that path. We talked to a gentleman named James who went into one of the Harbor Light facilities. He was addicted to painkillers. He told us a few minutes ago just how important this was to turning his life around and the sobriety he found thanks to Salvation Army.
And so it's been 2 years now that I've been free from drugs, and
wow,
excellent.
I've been working full time. I have 6 children, a family, so it's helped. The Salvation Army's helped me tremendously. There's great people in there, great therapists.
And he said, you know what? They don't turn anybody away. And, there are people that make these miracles happen every day. Our donors do that. We invite you to be a miracle worker right now by texting the word bread to 24365 or giving us a call. There's a lot of great people ready to talk to you. 833-725-4673.
One of the miracle workers is, I'm looking at him right here, Maurice. When I went on the bed and bread truck, you were on that truck delivering the meals to people, and you know these people, you develop relationships with these people, and I just think that's wonderful. Welcome, Maurice, to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
How did you get to Salvation Army? Because first you used it yourself.
Yes. Well, a friend of mine works here. Where she got me a job working temporarily for the toy warehouse for Kathy Smith, and I had had a couple of house fires, and the Salvation Army was very good to me and my family. They had gave me clothes for my kids, my grandkids, and my kids were living with me at the time when we had the fire, so they came to our rescue, and I would say about 6 or 7 months later after that, possibly a good friend of mine who actually works here, Miss Jackson. She works in HR. She had a job opportunity, and she just felt like I would be perfect for it because I'm a people person, and I like to talk to people, and I like to help folks as much as I can. So she thought it would be a good fit for me. And like in the beginning, I worked for Kathy Smith, and I worked for her for about a couple of months. And she says, you know what, we got to figure out a way how to keep you around here. So she sent me over to Harbor Light, and I've been there ever since.
Wow.
And he's on the truck, people. And talk to me about, you go on the same route every day and you see the same people.
Yeah, well, I do all the routes. So
Okay.
we have 3 routes, and I kind of bounce between all of them, and as well as do the warehouse work for us and pick up donations and stuff like that. But yes, I see a lot of the same people every day, and we have become friends over the years. We talk about everything from what's going on in their lives to sports to what they need. Sometimes we're ministers, we're brothers, we're friends. I like to say I'm like one spoke of love in the big wheel of love that Salvation Army provides.
And you know what you are talking about because you needed the Salvation Army, and so when these people come up to the bed and bread truck and they're telling you their stories and telling you what's happening and asking you feel that, you know it, you can speak on it.
Yes, exactly, I can, and I try to direct them in the best way I can to better empower them and better their lives. Let them know that there is hope. Tomorrow, every day brings a new challenge, but there are people here who are with you to help you get through everything you need to do.
As good as the food is that you're giving out, Maurice, I'll bet your smile is just as important to them.
The mother and little boy came up to the truck when I was with you, and I said, oh, that warms my heart. I have a little girl, and you go, well, I have grandbabies, and so I want to be a part of helping others.
That's right. That's right.
Give me a someone that you've met on this route that you look forward to seeing every day, and maybe is someone that's impacted you because you've been able to help them.
Well, I can't really pick out one person because I meet so many amazing people every day.
Yeah.
And if I had to have one to just stand out, well, years ago when I first started this job, I met a young lady. She had came to her kid came to the truck first, and she had never been to the truck before. So she seen the truck pull up, and she said, I see this truck pull up here every day, and I seen y'all give out some chips. It was just a kid. She said, can I have a bag of chips? I said, yeah, you can have some chips. I gave her some chips. I said, are you hungry? You want some food? You know what I'm saying? She said, yeah, I can have food. I said, yeah. So she said, I'll be right back. She left. She comes right back. She's got her brother, her sister, cousin,
Mm.
and the parent. And so
Wow.
the lady came in. She was actually someone that was displaced, and she asked about getting in the program, into the shelter. I talked to her about getting in the shelter. We have little pamphlets on the truck that we give out that has information who you can contact, and I give her one of those. And then I didn't see her again for a while. So about 2 years passed, and I was at the same stop again, and I seen the same little girl come up, and she says, "Hey, you remember me?" I said, "Yeah, I remember you. How are you doing?" She said, "We're doing good. My mom, she's over here. She's about to come talk to you." And so she comes back over, and she said she was so thankful for what the Salvation Army had did for her. That had helped her get into a shelter, find a place.
Oh,
She had
wonderful.
wound up turning her life around. She had gained gainful
Wow.
employment, and she was
There you
very,
go.
very thankful of
Amen.
And it
just the
started with
moment.
chips.
Yep, started with just a bag of chips.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
wonderful,
Maurice, thanks for going out and ministering to these people every day.
No problem.
We love it. We got a tote board update before we get out of here.
You said you wanted to do something.
I said I wanted to double that number up there. It's 135.
Well, right now it is 335.
No!
589.
Yes. We thank you so much. That's like 3 months worth. We've got 9 more months to cover. Our WJR partners are here to do just that. Tom, Kevin, they're all here. Chris will be in later as well. We hope you'll support them. If you haven't given already, please give. And we had a good morning.
We
Yes.
had a great morning.
Best morning we've had in.
High five, guys.
Yeah. Thanks
Good
so
work.
much.
Thank you, Salvation Army.
We'll see you Monday at 6. I'll see you this evening at 4 with Dick Purton.
And now a few words from Dick Purton.
It was a personal experience with me, and I tried to say on the air during the Radiothon, this can be your personal experience too, ladies and